If you guys want to speak in the first 5 minutes, you can unmute yourself for the period when he says, if there's any public comments. Speak.
Good, how are you?
Yes.
I know that there was some guys up in the UP that did the same thing. The clerk and the deputy clerk said that they were gonna hang count. And what's his name, Jonathan Rader, the elections director, stepped in,
Okay,
told them they weren't allowed to do it, pulled their authority.
here we
It's going
go.
to court now. They get their kind of investigation. Be interesting to see how it goes.
Let's get rid of the background. Yeah.
How we doing?
There we go.
Tired.
Okay, now. Can you hear? Can you guys hear? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Ready, Andy? Almost done.
1 minute. It's 59. I got one more. What's that one? Okay.
It's 7 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order. And pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Jared. Here. Dan. Here. Brad here. Steve here. Here. Nancy. Here. All right, here's the order. Phil. Yeah. So we have a lot to cover today. Yeah. Anyway, we have a lot to cover today. We're gonna set the people talking at 3 minutes apiece. The board will get 5 minutes apiece to discuss their issues and move on. Don't want to drag us out any more than what we have to.
Really let the record reflect that. Treasurer present.
So first off, any comments from the people? We have Joanne Stern first here. Come on up and you got something? Well, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Joanne Stern. I live in Columbus Township, and this is just a two-part question. I remember, a few months back, before all the new officials were here, that someone had mentioned, taking a laptop home and working on it. I'm not sure if it was Brett at the time or whatever. And I felt concerned about that, because my information is on those laptops, right? And so my question is, what is the information that's personal, that's on the laptops, and does anybody take those laptops home with that information?
Any answers?
I have a laptop I take home that I purchase. And there is nothing on it private, everything is public knowledge in it. It's just your tax information that I can look up right now, and anyone in this room can look up on the St. Clair County website.
You don't have the BSNA with the employee information on it?
I don't think so. If I have, I haven't looked at that, because that's not what I use it for.
Like, I don't know if you have social security numbers or what you have now,
But I wouldn't want,
I don't have access to that.
every time I put somebody into payroll, name, address, social security number, telephone number, date of birth, married, single, everything is in.
Well, it does,
would be.
and well, here's the thing, I can access it here, or I can, and if I can access it from my laptop at home, I can because I can access it here, so. I really were,
What kind of network security do we have as far as like securing our
Well,
internal computer stuff?
just this building is secure. So if you're in a building, your website's secure. You take it home, it's not secure.
well,
That's the bottom line. I talked to the people. I went over this again and again and again. And that's what they tell me. If you take it home, you have to have
VPN.
authorization to get the information at your house. And we don't want that information out of this building because there is some sensitive material in there and I don't believe it should be going home or outside of this building.
I wouldn't want my personal information being, not on a secure.
it is secure with the VPN.
Okay, all right, well,
I remember when Brett wanted to buy one of the tablets, right? Because they said they couldn't update the security on it, so is the security being updated on there, or is the township updating the security on that laptop? Or?
I have a VPN, so to be honest, I'm not really techie, all I know is it's secure.
So VPN secure the tunnel between point A and point B. They do not secure what's on the computer, where it goes after that, or how it's shared.
It's only authorized if I authorized it and I did not authorize it to go outside of the building.
Actually, you don't authorize my
Okay,
treasure
let's move
stuff.
on. Tom Peroni.
Yep. Thanks, I'm Tom Running, little over on Palm Top. I know I'm not supposed to ask questions, so I'm just gonna make a comment, I guess. I would just be interested in a future meeting to discuss where the state of the internet is in our township.
As far as the cable, high
And
speed cable,
a
stuff like that,
a good connection.
fiber optic.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody went to a thing that we were invited to back in March of 23. My wife and I went up to Marysville, but there's it's called the Michigan High-Speed Internet Office, it's part of the state of Michigan. And they were tasked to go around the state and have these meetings to ask people, how was your internet, or do you have internet, that sort of thing. And they're tasked with this, and it's actually, by law, the governor signed it in that they got money from the unused COVID money to basically make sure everybody in the state gets internet. And I don't know if you folks have ever
I
gone.
don't
up
know
the
if Angie knows
website.
of any of that stuff.
I do know a little bit, we did use some of our COVID money to do a survey,
Yeah, I remember that.
do you remember?
Yeah,
And,
Feasibility study.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we are like at the worst internet access, how much
Right.
we can download and everything, so we thought we would be high on the list of getting a grant.
Yeah,
We have to go through a provider. We had a couple providers make, proposals. We didn't get a grant. They got some little glitch that I remember Bruce telling us about called, what was that called, Stan? That little company. Oh, little
We're basically being held hostage because
just-
what happened was back during the Granholm administration,
uh,
they needed money,
yeah,
so they sold the rights to put internet service into all, made it available to let these public companies get on it.
mhm,
Well, a lot of these companies bought it for 10 cents on the
Yeah.
dollar, the rights to put high-speed internet in. And now they have that, was it like a 10-year option or
Yeah,
something?
and we have a
So
long time before.
Two
that.
thousand twenty-seven is before it will become available for another company to bid on.
all right, I personally think there's stuff that can be done on this.
If you have any kind of
I
information.
can send you the website and there's some good connections and, places you can go to if you think there's fraud been done to by any companies that got money that didn't. do
Well,
anything.
that wasn't fraud, that was legit. It's just that they haven't moved forward on what they said.
Yeah, cause like on our street, there's a fiber optic cable that they hung up there and it's a fiber optic cable with nothing on each end. And they got money to do that. So, anyway, thank you. I'd like to see this discussed.
Come see me in the office or call me
Okay,
during the week, and let's get together.
all right.
See what you can.
Yeah.
Help us with.
Cause at that meeting, there were other townships and sounded like other ones were a lot further ahead than
Well,
we.
we
I
were
think so.
in communication with a company that was in St. Clair Township, and we thought they were gonna move this way, and then it just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, but I think, this is a law that this has to happen, so.
Which is great.
So I think we can do something about it. Thank you.
All right, good. All right.
No, thanks.
Doing what? I got it on here. I think it's working.
It's not up on the screen.
Well, this is recording here, so.
Because their road's right there, right on the turn TV. Samsung.
Hey, Martha, you can put it up.
Hi, I'm Martha Burridge, and I have recorded on Zoom the past two board meetings. And someone on the board has asked me for those, but I've kept them because I'd like to be paid for them since I have to sit here and take care of it. This is the first meeting that the board has recorded. So anyway, and also I am recording today. So I would, if you want those two videos, I would like to be paid for them. And if you do decide to pay for them, I would have a stipulation that I want them posted on the website on those two.
I don't even know if it's legal for you to do that, but have you checked into that?
Have I checked into?
The legalities of you?
I'm not sure if you.
Sell it and make money off of it?
How much were you thinking?
150
Each or for both?
each.
Personally, I don't see a need for it myself. I don't know if you guys wanna bring a motion up or we'll just put it on the table for now.
I
Or
think,
table it?
I think I
think it should be public knowledge.
I vote no. If we're gonna do that, I don't want, I don't wanna pay any money for this stuff. We've done it enough right now. I spent enough money in the last 4 weeks that, I don't believe we should be spending any more money on stuff like that. I don't believe we need it. If people need to do it, they will contact you. You can share with them if you like, or not share them with who you like, help out your fellow citizens. That's my point of view. I don't know, what you guys want, you got comments?
I don't know.
I think that the township people should be able to see what we're doing. So for transparency purposes, I vote yes.
We gonna have a motion or what?
I make a motion to pay Martha $300 to be able to post the two, Zoom videos she has unedited on the website.
What budget is that gonna come from?
She don't know. Cause I do the budget.
I don't know.
So. Any seconds?
I second the motion.
Read it up.
No, I take a motion to vote on it.
Oh, to vote on it? Okay, motion to vote on it? Okay, vote. Kim, what do you vote?
Obviously, yeah.
Angie, what do you vote?
No.
Jared,
No.
Stan,
I don't know if it's legal or not.
I don't need him.
Who owns the software?
What's that?
Who owns the
You want
software?
to abstain?
For the ones that I recorded.
I'll vote
I
no.
do. It's
That's
my
three.
Zoom account, it's my personal Zoom
You
account.
can abstain if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna abstain on this.
Okay. That's the votes. Dave Hetzel. Dave Hetzel. Go ahead, you're on.
Does any one board member have more authority than another?
It was not all that lucky. Believe me, I looked it up, when I could access the estimate, I looked how much was there. I talked to the auditor that does the ARPA reporting for us, and that was the figure he gave me. And we figured out what we had allocated and what we had to do in December was what was left over, because if we would go back to the.
I can just look at the November minutes, because I do recall also that the ARPA money was all spoken for.
I was under the assumption we had used it all too, because that's why we hurried up and done everything down at the park. With the pavilion
That was.
and the driveway. And I think it was stated by the former supervisor that it was all used up.
I can honestly say that was stated by the former supervisor.
Okay, move on.
So, December minutes. You guys made a adjustment to pay the deputy treasurer till the fiscal year without reevaluate for 2025 fiscal year. Why was she fired and why wasn't she, hasn't she been paid yet?
She hasn't been fired. I can't fire her. I just
And
don't
none
have
of
to pay her.
the
That's what
hourly
you said.
people are paid, and I guess
She
I'm
was done
looking.
today.
Done being paid from this, the
So,
town.
so. The first question was, obviously, you answered, you have supersede what the board votes on.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you just did. I asked,
Supersede what?
I asked
Actually, I
if
thought,
one board member
It
had
was
can
nothing to
supersede
speak
the
about.
board's decision, and you said yes, it's your meeting.
Oh, you said, do they rank one higher ranked than the other? I said, yes. There is an order, a pecking order. Nor a chain of
So-
command, just like the military. That's how it is.
So the chain of command starts with you.
Yes,
And you supersede what the board decides.
no, you made that up.
Okay.
I didn't say that I could,
I-
I never said that I could change their votes or their decisions and do whatever I want. I
Well,
never
the-
said that.
The decision on the December minutes, correct me if I'm wrong, was the pay the
Correct.
deputy budget adjustment.
To interact, they're just supposed to speak their piece.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So 3 minutes are up.
I give them 9 minutes.
All right, go
Can't-
ahead.
Can't do that.
Yes, you can. Yes, I can.
Let them go, 3 more minutes.
Have you took any training classes? To be
What are
a
we getting at here,
supervisor?
Dave?
You're supposed to speak your piece.
Okay, well, supervisor hasn't took any training classes around this township.
That you.
I feel that, running this township, being a new supervisor, it would be money well spent in this township to send you to classes, to know your statutory duties and stay within the bounds. The transparency and the truthfulness that you ran your campaign on is far out the window,
What, to save the township money?
huh?
To save the township money?
Well,
As far out the window?
okay, let's go with the cameras. Let's go with the cameras in the office. Does anybody here have access to the cameras in this office?
And you don't have to have.
Yes, I know.
No, you deny access. You're the only one that has access. The other supervisor, everybody had access to those cameras.
No, they didn't. Bruce was the sole authority over the security system.
Okay.
You know, so am I.
Well,
So when
transparency,
when someone breaks
transparency,
in,
you would let all these board members see what's going on in this office.
they have, what do you?
Yeah, well. I mean, in the 2 months, there's been numerous laws broken. And it's gonna end up costing this township thousands of dollars of our tax-paying money. For legal fees, bypassing township policies, removing personal belongings from elected officials' offices. Posting notices on the door that wasn't approved, breaking and entering. You weren't in the office without her knowledge?
Still got 44 seconds.
I'm good.
John Grigg.
I'll forego my minutes because I see that it's all are struggle in this township. One thing I can honestly say is it looks to me from standing outside, you all forgot you're voted in.
Okay. Final with the approval of the agenda. Do we have approval of the agenda? We'll take a vote.
I need to amend the agenda. We need to add one thing to old business.
Can I get my 3 now? Did you hand in one of these?
Yes.
What's your name? Oh, another Dave Etzel. Okay, I seen 2 of them here, yeah.
I wanted clarification on the laptop. So that BSNA program that could or could not be on it, is that something that somebody could just get into? Just if it were to say fall in the wrong hands, like, is there like some sort of security, like, do you have to log into it? Or like, can anybody just open that up?
I don't know on it.
Anybody can view it, there's view access.
Well, there-
Yeah.
There's passwords, you have to know the password, so.
Okay.
But other than that,
I just, because she was saying she could access social security numbers and such things on that. I didn't know if that's something anybody could just get into.
if you have a password to get into
You
it,
have
So you
authorization.
you would
you
have
can't-
to be authorized to get it.
you have to be
Okay.
authorized. There's different sections in the computer programs that different people have different access.
Okay, so anybody could access like the public information stuff, but people's personal information, you would have to. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was all I was.
Okay, so on the agenda, I need to, under all of this, we need to put D, board of review.
Did you say board of review?
Yes, board of review.
That's old business.
Yeah.
And then there were two under new business, before the closed session. We should add, so we change it back, the dike security resolution and, G, the treasurer's resolution, and then move the closed session down a page.
So with the approval of the agenda, if I'm right or wrong, all this stuff on here, weren't we supposed to receive, information on it before today's meeting? So we had time to look over it? Cause I haven't seen this packet that was handed out at all until today. In fact, didn't even get an agenda until today. And I'm pretty sure there was a law that said, but I could be wrong, that you have to have enough time to be able to look over all the stuff in the packet. Before you talk and vote on it.
It is. It is an MCL number. You're supposed to supply everything that's gonna be talked about in this meeting tonight. Information regarding it, could have been at Thursday at noon.
That
Before the
was
Tuesday meeting.
what Bruce set up Thursday at noon, which.
And then if I'm correct, we have a policy with
But
that
he
in
did
our
the-
policy
But
book.
he did that, he always did the agenda on the weekend, and we got it the day before the meeting. That's when we got
No,
his, yes.
occasionally
I
it was
could-
that late.
I could go back and look, show you every email where he sent the packet, and I printed it on.
Well, the other thing is, at least we got the information and everything that we were gonna be talking
You
about.
got it yesterday.
No, we didn't. I don't have a treasury report. I don't have everything with yours, everything with the clerk's report. All I got was
Brad said I didn't need to give everybody a copy of the invoices. Oh, no.
Well, we all wanna look at them.
Well, did you do it first?
I did do a treasure.
I don't have that.
You will when it's my turn to talk.
Yeah, I don't have. one either.
Simple.
I didn't get a chance to look at that either before today.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I second it. What can I second?
No, you can't second it. We want to vote on something we have no information on, including people's money.
We'll go print a copy of all of those that. Brad
Yeah,
has
we
thought.
don't have time to sit here and look through it all.
We do have time to hear the call.
Is anybody gonna make a second on this agenda?
this is so unprofessional. You do need to go to classes, Brad, and learn how to run a meeting professionally.
That is doing different than Stan. You got the information there.
No, I don't.
I gave you some the other day.
A lot of the stuff that's on this agenda, I have no information in my packet regarding.
I didn't have any either, so.
Well,
we're all on the
how can you
same-
put that on the agenda then? You just wanna snowball all this stuff through tonight?
Don't wanna snowball nothing. There's a lot of topics here that need to be addressed.
Well, we're gonna be tabling a lot of it.
That's fine. So you don't wanna do any of the agenda, then we'll call the meeting off right now. I mean, you don't wanna do it. You got the stuff
I
there,
second
wait for-
that.
Wait for another month. But then your tax information, you know, that stuff isn't getting processed. There's so much going on in this township that you people have no idea right
That
now.
is true.
You're getting summer taxes in the winter. You're getting e-checks not being documented. You're getting Superior heating and cooling checks that are 2 months old, 1 month old, that's not been cashed, the permits haven't been given. The work is not being done here, people. Somebody has to have a heavy hand in getting this stuff going. You want me to keep the township going, that's fine, I'll do it, but, you know. When you got people spending money like this, did y'all look at this one? All right,
Absolutely.
What is it?
well, that's all money that just one person spent for the month. And
It was
it's-
more than
and
a
the
month.
the
And-
total is
And the
about-
$807 was for training classes
Over
for this whole
$2,000.
freaking township,
Kim,
not
So-
just me.
can you go over that decimal?
No, you
value?
can just shut up.
Oh, my God, you hurt.
Yeah, well, wait till we get to
All
my
right, just
section.
settle
We're-
down. Settle down.
Very, yep.
Yeah.
You haven't even heard unprofessional.
training?
So that's the thing. If you read through this thing, you'll see training, unauthorized trip to Frankenmuth cost almost $1,200 for 2 people. That was, like I say, unauthorized. They could have done it online for $150. That would have saved a bunch of money there. Also, these hours here, go through the hour sheet. All right? She was allotted, the deputy clerk was allotted 5 hours a day, 4 days a week, 20 hours, the same schedule as what we work out here. That's what's posted, that's what we want to be open, that's what we wanted to allot the deputy clerk or deputy treasurer to be paid. Up until the taxes were done and paid, that were sent out. After that, the deputy clerk was off the clock. This is the way it was supposed to go. There was no unlimited hours and there was none of the stuff that, she can come in whenever she wants. The hours there to be working for the people are posted out there. They're not being worked. People come in here, what was his name? He had a $35,000 check to be paying his taxes. She didn't want to get out of her office to take this gentleman's money. So the guy had to
First of
put
all,
up a fight.
the office was
I got
closed,
videos of.
you guys
I
had
got
it
videos.
closed,
I got
and
videos,
I was
stop.
on the phone.
I got videos
Tell me
of
what to do.
different people, unauthorized people coming in this building, going into her office and doing the paperwork and the tax information that they shouldn't be touching.
the video.
They're unauthorized, they're not bonded, and I do have videos of them and I got them on a flash drive.
Pull them out.
Release them.
You can't give me the flash drive by for you. You got all.
I gave it to you today. You didn't know how to get into it, so it didn't work. I called the guy over, he came out here and he showed me right there and it worked fine, so. Anyway, are we adjourning this meeting then?
I just know this, if we don't approve this agenda, if we don't approve this check register, I have.
The bills aren't getting
These
paid.
are all the
Employees
bills
aren't
that need
getting
to be
paid.
paid. And I want them approved today and signed today, because I wrote some checks before Christmas, which Kim finally signed last week. We have bills that are getting paid late. We are ruining the credit of the township. We are making the residents angry by not being here to take their taxes. I think we need
And you're
to,
gonna have a
Get a
state
handle on
takeover. That's what you're gonna have.
it will
If you
happen.
wanna let this go on, that's what's gonna happen, folks.
We move on with the agenda, guys.
Nobody,
We're
nobody's.
we're not
made a
even doing
second.
it. Nobody's,
on this, let's get it done.
nobody seconded it.
Do some of this stuff that you do know
We
about,
have to.
correct?
Yeah, we can pick it.
So we can pick and choose what we want to do. We second the agenda, just go through things and get tabled. So I second the motion to approve the agenda.
Condition on the ability
Condition,
to table.
things will be, yeah, condition on that issues that we don't have enough information on, we can table those, and things we do have information on, we can press on and get things done.
And we'll ask that question at every item.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Angie will get that for the minutes.
We're gonna just approve that amended, and then when we get to each item, if we decide to table it, we're just gonna table it. That way we'll put it in the minute. So are we have to have a vote? Are we doing all ayes or are we doing
It should be a
individual?
roll call vote.
All right, roll call, Angie.
Yes.
Tim,
No,
Jared,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Fred, yes. All right, so, your assessor department, you got this, you guys wanna go over that? That's all he gave us.
Yeah, that's just an FYI, he gives us.
Just to let you know.
So that's, all PTA and feeds are up to date. Work continues on sketching properties. All splits are up to date, working on new values for 2025. That's his,
We shall send out the notices in.
that's what he's got. Okay. Check register. Is that Angie?
Yeah. Well. Got one on the desk, I don't have a copy in front of me. I had to run, oh, here it is. I had to run the report differently because I blocked, I've lost my access in BSNA, I was the administrator. Now I can't get into banking reports, I can't put in new vendors, I can't put in new employees. It says I have no authorization. I've talked to BSNA. I wanna say a dozen times trying to get access. Somehow Kim got access to everything. I've asked her several times to call them and get me back in. But as of today, I still can't get in, so this is the way I had to do the check register. The second page is the employee payroll checks. They're not all on here. Some of them are voided because my program started printing the checks screwy and I had to have BSNA fix that for me so I could print the checks correctly.
Where is this report? Yeah, I don't have one.
I put, they do, I don't know where yours is.
Yeah, I don't have it.
So unorganized.
So I've got the,
Thank you.
Pleasure over back it right then.
Okay, so what do you got?
so I got the general ledger checks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Electronic transfers and got 5 electronic transfers and checks. 5033, 5102. Totaling $83,367.71. The payroll one I have, I don't know what check numbers to put in here because like I said, they have to void all these and I don't, when I looked at this, I don't think it printed everybody, but again, I can't access some of this. Did the best I could. This totals $10,498.09 because December, well, people get paid. So anyway, that's. And just put payroll. I'm gonna put 5035 to 5075 because that, as of right now, that's all I. But they're not even in order. It's so messed up. I'm just gonna do 50033 to 5102 and total the two. I have the total written on the paper. Is it written on the one you have? Tim? At the bottom, yeah. What's that total at the bottom there? I don't have that.
The bottom total?
Yeah, that bottom.
93,865.80.
So that's all the checks. So I need a motion to approve those checks so we can pay these bills and pay the bills. I'll make a motion to approve the check register. If somebody can second. We have to get this.
I'll second that.
Take a vote. Angie,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
Brad. I just abstain. Or it's for your budget? Yeah, okay, yes. Sure.
Okay, you think you can sign these checks right now? Kim? Because I can't count on you to come in tomorrow and sign the checks so I can mail these bills out. I had some that were over 2 weeks.
No,
late.
I'm not gonna sign them right now. I will sign them at the end of the meeting.
Okay, so we're good with the check register.
Mhm.
You were approving last month's minutes?
I'll make a motion for.
Whoa, 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 I got some corrections.
Corrections.
Okay, first on page 2 of 3. At old business under C. We talked about the audit company quotes. I'd like to add in there that the discussion took place. UDEC stated that a contract with the new assessor was approved by the previous board. And then under D,
Wait, let me write this down.
oh, not correction, not assessor, auditor.
Oh, I know what you meant.
That was my bad. And then under D, it was only a vote for Behringer, Hetzel, and Smith, and it wasn't for Grant or Dudek. And we both voted yes.
Oh. Sorry about that.
So were you gonna keep that 1 night a week, or was it gonna be by appointment only? How are you gonna do
I
that?
thought we wanted to bring that up, that we got that on here. Under old business. So, can we make a motion to approve as amended?
No, I need to make, an adjustment to B. It said,
Or you go, do we have any objection to the other additions, Sam? No. Do you have any objection? The one that's Sam.
yeah, that's fine. It is not down correctly for the, deputy treasurer. It is to work, it's supposed to be to work 4 days a week till the end of the year. And, then Monday or January and February and March, it would work 1 day a week. We would revisit and adjust as needed at the February budget meeting. I remember that, way I can
No.
play it on my phone right now.
You gotta make a motion, or take a vote on that? Anybody second that motion?
I'll second it.
I'll play it right now if we need to.
Got it.
I got it.
So we-
Okay.
Hear the vote. Wanna hear the vote?
Yes,
No, let's hear it on your recorder. Let's hear the vote. All that was a motion.
There's a couple motions going with that.
I know, it went on back and forth. That's what I'm trying to get at. What was actually, what did we actually put the motion on?
yeah, I got.
Yeah, we can move on. Okay, so that's,
The 3-minute timer on that.
yeah, we can. Thank you.
So we're gonna
Okay.
table the approval of the minutes and move on to, do we want to skip the treasurer's report in the meantime?
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
So down to the MTA annual conference.
MTA, that's her also,
All right,
I don't know what that's about. We got no information on that.
This is your treasure report.
Okay, so what's the MTA annual conference about?
They have an annual conference every year and it's 3 days. They put on over 150 classes for everyone on the board. And,
Wait, did we skip over the treasurer's report and the
Yes.
treasurer's duties?
only because she was
Yes.
looking through her phone.
So explain the treasurer's report. There, you don't have any of our expenses, any of our
Hold
income.
on, Angie. We,
actually I do.
let's, are we gonna skip parts of the agenda so we can get this video, or are we gonna table the
Yeah,
video?
we need to move on. People want to move on.
Yeah.
I think 7:42, table the video.
So are we tabling the approval of the minutes then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because she wanted to change that other thing, so table that. All right, table the minutes.
Oh, these two
Okay,
are-
so you got,
These are
approval of minutes, okay, so.
Yeah.
Treasurer's report.
Finish the MTA thing, if you got started on that, let's finish that up. Annual
Okay, so on
conference,
order.
3 days, how much do you want from the township for that?
Depends on how many people go. So it's $400 for the 3 days. And you have unlimited, classes.
Where's this class at?
It is in Grand Rapids,
So that means you have to stay the night.
correct, 2 nights.
So that's $400.
And I don't know what,
Per person,
I don't know what the,
hotel rooms,
I don't know what the hotel
Mileage.
rooms are or any of that,
what
so,
else you got? Food?
well, no, I don't know, food, I would think, but.
Okay, so you gotta figure what, $700 a person, $800 a person for 3 days?
At least. If you're doing 400 for the classes and then hotel rooms
Okay,
and mileage.
that's what I said.
Can we all go?
Yeah.
Sure.
And here's my thing, I thought we paid almost for $1,000 so we could do all these webinars online.
$1,900,
can-
if I
we can-
remember correctly.
So.
We can do webinars,
So
but-
then you wanna do this on top of it.
your webinars are limited not to everything that they offer. So they offer this once a year. They do it once a year, that's it. And you get all your vendors that you can use there. You get all the classes for every single person on every board that a township employs.
Vendors for what? I know the vendors I use.
I have no clue. I've never been to
I
one,
would say,
so
but
I don't really
You
know.
don't even, in your office, you don't really need vendors except to buy envelopes. I found a really good vendor for printing that we got the envelopes.
I didn't say I needed
At
a
a
vendor, I'm
minimal
just
amount, yeah, but
putting that out there. I don't know what you need vendors for because I'm new. So, but as a new, I've gone to an annual conference similar to this for a different board I sat on. And the learning experience you get from it is priceless. You get multiple classes all day long to go in and out of. Learn, get,
Already done them then, right?
what?
Have you already done them then?
No, this is
You
for,
just said you just,
I did one for a different board I sat on,
but you were at the classes,
for a different board that I sat on.
you're the
So-
treasurer, what board are you on?
I was on the fair board for Goodles, and we set up the fair for the whole year. And then we'd go there and we would do sponsorship, we would do homeland security, it just depends on what you did at the fair. So,
So the MTA will come in here, I'm pretty sure, and help you guys in whatever way you need them, they're pretty readily available.
You can call them.
well, that's what this is, the MTA puts it on
No,
They-
they'll come here and do it,
You can
for a
call-
cost.
there was a chair of the Michigan Township Association, I think out of this township, I don't know who it was though.
I mean, they'll come in and do, if it is one person that comes in, they'll come in and teach you their one class. They're not gonna teach you 5 or 6 different classes.
So
Would it
just,
be appropriate to go look at what they offer and then show that to everybody and say, what do you need, where are the gaps?
Is there a required list of courses for each position? That would be interesting, because if there are required lists that we have to fulfill, take, cover those, and if they're not on it, they're nice to have, then you might be.
The MTA is a volunteer.
And everything goes online, like you say, that training, right? I have to take training for my livelihood, and I have to do update classes all the time online and stuff. Everything is online.
Well, yeah, some of them are online. Some of them are online, not all.
That's what you're talking about, the internet, and you got everything on your phone, you use it for everything else, you can do it real easy.
Right.
You could do
And
that
here's an
for some
example
of
of
them,
that, okay? So it cost us over $1,200 or about $1,200 to send 2 people, or they're asking for that, to send 2 people to Frankenmuth to do a course where it says they can do it online for $150.
And show me where the price
So-
for $1,200 is.
That's in your mileage, your $300 motel rooms and whatever the
Not
bills are. The
not
bills
the
are on here,
Frankenmuth.
everything is in here, so if you folks read that, you'll see.
Can
Not
going on
For Frankenmuth.
we're going. That'd be better in my eye.
So I guess the purpose of the agenda item was to discuss.
Just to put it out there that they're having an annual conference in March. To put it out there,
What's the date? Do we know?
March 1st through, or April 31st through March 3rd. And, oh, it's dark. May, so not March.
So
my bad.
April 30th through March.
April 30th.
April
Yes.
30th through May or what? Or you said
No.
April 30th through March. That's the whole year.
Okay. So,
Oh, right, sorry, it is
so we can table it for now and think about it.
March 31st through April 3rd. March 31st.
Okay, moving on.
That would be 3 nights.
Well, the first night isn't, or the first day is something different, something special, I guess. I don't know.
So that was just in one.
It's a Friday, Saturday, or
It's a Sunday through Wednesday, I believe. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
yes. Are we gonna go back, resume the order and go to the treasurer's report?
Sure. Where's the report?
I went ahead and pulled out, all the stuff that we currently have. We do have a CD that is currently expiring. That needs to be renewed. And it's for Genesis. It is currently $227,313.37. That 4.2%.
That says 1927 on there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Are you talking about this Advia one, 225? 2025?
Yeah, how do we get that one? It was only 2%.
I know, there's a couple of them there's one of them that's 1.59%.
So I think you should,
So that one, I don't know why it's so low, but like the money,
maybe at the next meeting, you can bring us the, normally they give you 3 or like 4 different. What?
Yeah, 1 year, 2 year,
6
3
months,
year.
12 months, 18, whatever, and all those different interests, and then we can make a decision on how we want to renew it.
yeah, cause like this one is 0.34%. I mean, we don't make nothing on it or interest.
Do you know who took that
Well, the problem is.
CD out?
Do I know, the past treasurer?
But the problem is, it depends on when those come due, what the current interest rates, I mean, lately, they've been bumping up. Like that, Genesis one, which is the one that just renewed it, that went up to 4.2. It was less than that before. Same thing with Swag Star, one that's gonna expire, that one's 5%.
Okay, there's some options and bring it back to us next month, so we make a
Yeah,
decision, because you got until the 25th of February, right?
yeah,
yeah.
I think you have 10 days after it expires to renew it.
The report.
Yep, pretty much. Those are costs, our spending, what we started, what we ended with.
While we're talking about that, you, in these minutes here, and then I did say it last month, we need to do budget adjustments. You had to do a budget adjustment for the payroll, you needed to do a budget adjustment for the roads and bridges that I had. The right on.
Actually, I don't do the budget adjustment. So,
Well, I can't go in and do those, even if that was something I was supposed to do, which I never did. I don't have access to it.
I'm not sure why you don't have access to it.
Again, like I
Again,
told-
like I told you,
yesterday, I
I
asked
called
you
them.
to call them.
I did call them.
I called them today.
I called them too, and you have to, you know, like I know, they put you through to somebody, make you email and wait for their call back. It's not my fault they didn't call back. I don't know what you want me to do.
No, I've asked you every time I've seen you, which is very seldom, if you could correct this. I've emailed you because I can't access. it.
Well, that's funny, because I didn't get your email at all. In
Well, I
fact,
do
a
have
lot
to
of
say,
my,
that might very well be true because I've been having a lot of trouble. I did email to you.
I have plenty of missing emails right
Two
now.
people I've emailed in the last week that didn't get the email, so that I will give you, you probably couldn't. One for the county, one to one of the residents.
So yeah, I'm
But
not,
But the budget adjustment needs to be done for the roads and bridges, because I had to pay all that extra money out for all the extra ditching we got accomplished before the weather changed.
Whose job is it?
it's not my
Pardon?
job.
Whose job is it for this?
Phoebe always did it.
She always did it, but who's supposed to always?
I believe it's
I
Leclerc,
thought
but I'm
it-
not positive, to be honest. But I know it's not me.
Well, I do nothing with the budget. Brad will come up with the new budget, but you're supposed to monitor the budget. Whether we're high or low, if we're going over budget, if we're under budget, we can take money from here to adjust. That always has been the supervisor, and the treasurer does the budgeting expenses and keeps track of that. I've never had any access to that ever in all these years. And Pat never did it before me.
And that could honestly be true. I can't argue that point. I'm just saying though, if you look up my statutory duties, that's not one of them. And again, never doing it before, I don't know how to do it either. Would I be willing to do it? Sure, but I don't know how to do it. It's not something that I've learned how to do.
With sending you the class, teach you to learn it.
Well, yeah, if you took a class on how to do budgeting, yeah.
So that should be one of those online things.
Online.
We need to check into that.
MCL 41.76 governs the general duties of the township treasurer, which states. Treasurer shall receive and take charge of money belonging to the township, or that its bylaws required to be paid into the township treasury, and shall pay over and account for the money according to the order of the township board or authorized officers of the township.
Yeah, I am to take care of the money, but I don't create the budget. It's not my job to create the budget for the township. It's my money, it's my job to take care of the money once the budget has been decided,
But
but
that's
not.
budget adjustments is part of that. Brad can't do a budget adjustment. He doesn't have access to BSNA. He might be able to look at it. He can do nothing. in it.
Again, I'm
can't
not
even look
arguing
at it.
that
I
point
don't have any,
with you.
there's only people that have access to that, and that is Kim and Jan. No one else is authorized to do anything. That's why you can't get in the computer.
Well, I was
That's not
the
true.
administrator, but. I don't have that.
So,
I can't
What does
go
it
in
state there again, Steve, just to
MCL.
reiterate?
MCL 41.76 governs the general duties of the township treasurer, which states, treasurer, quote, shall receive and take charge of money belonging to the township. Or that its bylaws require to be paid into the township treasury. And shall pay over and account for the money according to the order of the township board or the authorized officers of the township.
So that's budgeting that money and moving it around to where it had to be moved
Because
to.
we have to have a balance.
It does not say budget in there. It says take care of the money.
It says take
So
charge.
I take care of the money. When you
It
spend
says
it,
take charge.
when.
Planning commission.
Planning commission writes bylaws? Alright, so let's bring this up at the next planning commission meeting and have them write a bylaw. and figure all this crap out.
I mean, if there's some clarity that's necessary based upon what I read in the statute, the board can authorize or order according to the order of the township board or the authorized officers of the township. So if there's a dispute whether or not an authorized officer of the township, like the supervisor, can order the treasurer to make budget adjustments, then we could have a motion brought that this board could resolve to either identify the person who will make the budget adjustments. And according to this, it can be the treasurer. In my review of the statute, so.
But I kind of think we should pull out then the statute for everyone's statutory duties here and let
Well, that's-
everyone hear how it is.
That's not on the agenda,
Because,
because,
yeah, because there is a lot missing on that.
so is there a motion I'm just using the words of the thing. Order of the township board to order the township treasurer to manage the budget adjustments going forward.
What about the budget?
Exactly.
Well, the budget is managed.
Budget, you're talking about an adjustment to the budget, you guys haven't
The,
figured out who's making it.
hold on, sir. If you let me answer, I can answer your question without you talking anymore. The answer is that the budgets are handled by the supervisor on a yearly basis. That budget is a budget that was created by Bruce Christie, former supervisor, and that goes on until March, when the new budget starts. And so there's an overlap here in that, and what needs to be handled today and what's on the table today in front of the board is simply adjustments to the budget based upon this board's decisions over the last month according to the last meeting. And so if you have a question about the budget in and of itself, not a single person on this board created it. That was done by Bruce Christie. And that will be handed over to the supervisor to do that for the next year's budget. In the meantime, we're here to discuss fixing and adjusting what has occurred by a vote of this board. And so the question that was posed was whether or not, since there's a discrepancy in understanding the duties, I have clearly identified my opinion as to what MCL 41.76 allows for. And I would ask that we either, if we want to address the issue head on, then we need to have a motion that orders somebody on this board to make these adjustments, and seeming that there is a question and the ordinary business of this township needs to move forward despite people's personalities. So is there somebody who wants to put a motion, or we can just continue to?
Kick the can down the road.
Correct.
I'll make a motion.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Just so that I understand, the budget that we're talking about, there's a budget approved at the beginning of the year, it's X number of dollars. And adjustments are not adding money to that budget, they're just saying, okay, we had this much budgeted for this, but we overspent here, we need to
Exactly.
move this.
Correct.
Just within the budget that was already approved.
Correct.
That's
So the
exact-
budgets the
yeah.
budget adjustments that are being tabled
It's
or that
not new
were
money,
Yeah.
discussed
It's not
today.
new money, we're taking it from X and putting it into Y,
gotcha.
just to make,
And in this case, it had to do with the ditching, right? The
Yeah.
moving. So, and that was approved already by the board at the last meeting or the meeting before.
Make a switch to that, like in the general ledger though? Like, that's an honest question, like, why wouldn't you make a budget adjustment through the general ledger?
because you're budgeting different departments, you're budgeting roads and bridges, the park.
Right.
The garbage. So we budgeted X amount of dollars for road work. Now we've
Right.
spent way more than that, so we need to take money that we had budgeted, say, for the cemetery.
Right,
And put it in there, so that isn't over budget.
right, but why wouldn't you do that through the general ledger? Is what
That
I'm
is the
asking.
general budget.
Right, but you're responsible for the general ledger,
No,
so,
I'm not, I'm responsible for paying the bills, doing the payroll. You have to reconcile the bank statements.
I reconcile, yes, I do that, I don't
And
do the
give them to
general
me to
ledger.
verify that you reconcile them and check them and make sure the bank balances are all there. I verify, like when I give you bills, you're supposed to make sure I wrote the check correctly. But the
So,
budget adjustment is nothing about what we're talking about. You have to make sure that the roads have enough money to cover it. Because if we don't, well, good luck when the audit comes. Because they check all. By law, we have to be audited every year. By law, we have to have a balanced budget. And then they write up a report and they send that to the state, and if there's a lot of issues, the state will come in and take over.
All right.
I
Your
understand,
motion
but
is to have Brad appoint someone to adjust the budget.
I'm not a voting member, so.
I'm just saying that's what
Yeah,
you're putting
so
forward.
the
Motion
resolution
to-
would be that there is that somebody is designated,
Gotcha.
right? As the person who is in charge of making these budget adjustments. Through the course of going forward, right, until otherwise.
And decided. We put this motion through, and if you decide to have the treasurer do it, or Angie do it, or whoever. We have to make sure that they know what they're doing, so if Angie, if Kim needs help, or needs a class, or whatever, I mean, you can tell her, but she doesn't know what to do.
She could
Point
call,
us.
she could call the auditor.
Okay,
They
just as
will
long as they
explain.
know this,
They will explain how to
as
do it.
long as if you appoint someone, make sure they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So she, right now, she states she would do it, but she's gonna need a class to do it.
It wouldn't
Which
be a
makes sense,
class.
or
They would-
whatever,
They would just say,
someone to help
you
her.
need to do this, they could walk her through it. They could walk her right through it.
That's fine. I
is
mean,
that with the BSNA stuff?
It's in BSA, but I don't think they can't walk her through it. The auditor would have to, because they're more of the software end of it, and recording and stuff.
The definition of the MCL of the treasurer, it says account for, as accounting, which is at any moment, on any day, no matter whether you had to do anything to do with this budget, is to have a snapshot in time of budget. You can propose money needs to be moved from this line to this line, this department to that department. It's like monopoly money. It's the same amount of money just getting shifted around where it's needed, and approvals need to be done. So account for is accounting, is a treasury function. So maybe the proposal or the motion that's needed is to have the planning committee define more clearly account for. What is the treasurer accounting for? That would be a snapshot of the budget at any given time.
This is state law, this isn't, an ordinance. right?
so,
So the motion for the planning committee.
So the way she would do
so
it.
this,
goes-
this is what the treasurer's statutory duties are listed as. Appoint a deputy, post a surety bond, receipt revenues and expenditures, disperse township checks, deposit township revenues in approved depositories, invest township funds in approved investment vehicles, collect taxes and other fees, including real and personal property for township and other taxing entitles, delinquent personal property, jeopardy assessment, mobile home specific tax, special assessment, and dog license.
Money in, money out.
Money in, money
Okay,
out.
so you said collect taxes,
Correct.
and when exactly did you intend to do that, hourly wise, what hours?
well, let's
Yeah.
get this thing done first.
All right.
Get this.
I
So
just don't-
what Kim was reading from is some kind of synopsis from some PowerPoint.
Oh,
What,
it's the I just made a copy of the MTA
okay,
book.
so I have a copy of. I'm not gonna argue over where this is driving. I'm not disagreeing with what she's saying. But I wanna make sure it's very clear that the MCL which governs the general duties of a treasurer, or what I explained in my report. Right, which includes shall pay over and account for the money according to the order of the township board, that's this board, or the authorized officers of the township. Right, and so you have the ability now to make a decision whether or not you want Kim or you want Angie. I would say that it needs to be an officer. But to make the budget adjustments, but that's, you can bestow that requirement on the treasurer based on the MCL as the township board if necessary. So if Phoebe did it before and you want to continue as a treasury activity, it's on the board to make that decision. And so if you want to do that, I think this is a time to make a motion to do that, or if you want to bestow it on Angie, you can do the same. But a decision has to be made that, and it's allowable to have. I think. Okay. So somebody would have to make a motion, and then I would suggest a roll call vote as to how it's supposed to vote. So Brad, you're making a
I'll
motion.
make the motion. Keep it as a treasurer's job, it's been that way for years. And it is accounting for the money. Any
And
seconds?
what she did, was she would go into the budget, see where there was excess money, and she would bring it to the board and say, we are going to take 20,000, and she would print it up, 20,000 from this account and put it to roads and bridges, whatever, but I think
But you just said you didn't know how to do it, but you're telling me how to do it, so.
I said, this is what she brought to the board. She said, we're taking it from here, we're putting it here. How to do it in BSNA, I do not know, because that was not part of the job.
And I don't have access to any of that either.
All right, so the motion will be a second.
So I put the
So,
motion up.
I'm gonna support the you designate the treasurers to do budget adjustments.
Okay, take a vote. Angie,
Yes.
Kim,
No,
Dan,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
Brad, yes. All right. Another one off the list.
Another one off the list.
All right, what do you got next?
Address tax situation.
That's the tax. Well, I was saying earlier about some of these taxes, the summer taxes being sent out in the winter. Other taxes not being e-transferred or documented. People wanted to get their taxes done by the end of the year and deposited in their escrow or wherever they were going so they could have a tax write-off, and many people did not get that done. Many people were turned away from, the office here because we're not technically allowed to handle the money, the administrator, me. I'm not bonded or insured for that stuff. It's supposed to be, as Kim said earlier, that the treasurer collects the tax money and forms and takes care of that. We don't have access to that room because, and the safe is in that room. We've been locked out of there, so I don't want anybody touching any money, because if it's missing for some reason and, who's gonna get blamed? Okay, there's been some cash deposits. We don't know what to do with the money. So.
okay, so let me rebuttal that, first of all. Second of all, I have not been mailing out summer taxes. I wasn't even here for summer taxes. First of all.
He brought one in.
Just one person brought for that, but people have
But
been trying to
that-
call you.
that
you
doesn't
turn up-
matter.
On the letter.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and it'd be great. I didn't interrupt you if you wouldn't interrupt me. So we do have a safe at the back of the building that I've said to you multiple times that people can drop their taxes in, or you, well, not you, because you're right, you are not bonded. Mike is authorized to take tax payments and has
No, he's-
all year long,
That
For-
Phoebe authorized.
and I authorized him too.
He doesn't work for you.
But he can take taxes for Phoebe, but can't take taxes for me, is what you're saying.
Did not authorize him.
I did authorize him.
So what does that mean authorized? Does that mean bonded? How's that any different?
He falls under our GL policy for it.
Like insurance? What is that?
Yes, he falls under our general liability insurance policy. To collect the taxes at the window. He does not have to post them in the system, any of that, he just collects them at the door,
And what do you do?
basically. Then he gives them to me,
You're not here.
he can put them in the drop box out back. The safe, it's a safe,
It's a safe?
It is a
Where's
safe,
the Dropbox
yes.
up there?
It's out there by those,
the drop,
out there
the
by
drop
the
at
double
the back
doors.
door,
It's a little slot.
that is a safe,
You put cash
built
in there
into
too,
the
or
room.
anything? Cash in there?
We don't want cash in there, no.
So what happens if somebody brings in cash?
We haven't, I don't know, to be honest, we've had one person bring
So
it
should they
back.
make an appointment?
No,
with
there's been more than one
Do that?
bringing cash.
Would it be more?
I've only gotten one cash payment.
My question is it more appropriate for people to make appointments with you? I realize your schedule's busy and not everybody can be wherever, whenever, but would it be easier if there's an appointment system where people can call you and say, hey, you can come in and speak?
You can, yeah, anybody can call, but you also have the option of coming in here while the township is open. Why they were closed, I was open, every day.
What you just said, Mickey, why would they need to?
Well, no, if there's a problem with taxes not getting to her or something, then they.
No, that's not the issue.
So. Yeah, you can come, you can make an appointment, you can bring them during hours, you can drop them in the drop box, you can pay them at the bank, you can pay them online. There's multiple ways to have it taken care of. So-
Cash has to go to you, if they bring cash, you don't get cash.
No, we can take cash, but it has to be exact payment, cause we don't carry change in here,
Right, just
so.
wondering. Thank you.
But yes, it can be put in the rear safe. Mike can collect the taxes. Also has the ability to do that and was for a while, and then all of a sudden I heard stop.
Cause he was getting cash payments and we couldn't put them in the safe, the safe was locked in there and that's where we typically put the money.
There's
He-
only been, I've only seen one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Most hours for residents are 9 to 2 Monday through Friday, right? So does Mike work different hours than you? You're here 9 to 2, he's here 9
No,
to 2?
He's here
not
9
to 2.
I'm not here, I'm here sometimes 9 to 2, but usually I'm here way later than that. So.
So Mike works different hours, like? is
He
it
works
in
9 to
his
2.
Job description?
It is one of his job descriptions, I guess
No.
we'd
Is
say.
that true, Mike?
What's that?
Is that one of your job descriptions? To take tax money?
It's-
Your administrator.
I do it just to support the,
You do it to
you know,
help.
the different departments that are in there. It's not really my job duty to take.
Okay,
tax.
that's all we need to know.
Okay, I do it as a convenience for the resident. Okay, so they don't have to make appointments to come in and do it. The only issue that I have is when folks come in with cash, I cannot access the vault where it goes, and the vault on the little mailbox on the outside of the door is not a vault. You can stick a crowbar down the front of that and pull it right out of the wall.
Wait,
Well, I mean,
that's
so-
safe?
But
It's-
that's why are we using it to have people drop tax payments in it? You know, if it's not safe.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's what I'm saying too, like,
You're asking-
if it's not
The
safe,
issues
why are we
that I
using
have, and
it?
that's the biggest one, I can't access a secure
Right,
place to put the things. I used to, for 4 years, I had not issue once.
So-
Kim, what hours can people come here and bring tax money, just for the record, what hours?
anytime they want.
No, when you're here, is what I'm asking.
I just made up a new schedule that I'll be here on Mondays from 2 to 7 and Thursdays 9 to 2.
So you're just.
And the office
2 days?
closed?
Huh?
Then the office closed at 4 o'clock?
2,
No, 2 o'clock.
we're here 9 to 2 Monday through Thursday.
Yeah. I'm here
So we
a
gotta
lot of
come up,
nights.
beat on the door and get you to answer it?
Or call the treasurer's phone and I'll answer it, and come out and open the door.
You have a security issue? You should be by yourself.
I agree, I shouldn't be by myself, but it's also a very hostile workplace here. And I had stopped coming in during the day because of that.
I just,
Why can't Mike get to the vault?
Can we all just get along?
Because then I have
No,
to,
I'm just saying, I don't know, why can't he get to the vault? Where's
we
the-
could have the vault moved out
But I'm
into
just saying,
the,
why can't he get to the vault now?
because the door is locked.
Why is the door?
Why is it locked? I don't know what's in
Well,
there.
because I have everybody's stuff in my office
I didn't
and
know
things
why the door
kept
was
coming up missing off my desk. So everyone in this,
like.
everyone in this office has a locked door. The supervisor locks his door. The clerk locks her door, but they don't want the treasurer to lock her door.
Okay.
Yeah, we never said
That-
Okay, we never said that. Okay,
Yeah,
if
you-
you wanna reiterate all these comments and say things, I have a couple things to say about this too. You're coming in, you have barely come in during office hours when we were here. And I have checks that sit waiting to be signed because I won't sign them until you're here. Back the other day, you were gonna take them home with you and I took them back. And then
Well,
when you
that
get
is-
them, I don't see them in the mail, outgoing mail, so where are they? Are you taking them home with you and mailing?
No, I mail them out when I leave it. If we've missed the mail person here, I drive them to the mail post, to
Well,
the
we-
post
if we
office.
leave it at, in the mail tray, Mike puts it out every morning. The other question
fine.
I have you done the mobile home tax for the county, for the county and the state of
Yes.
Michigan?
I have talked
Seen
to,
the checks that I have to write. I have to write a check to the county that covers the state and the county portion of mobile home tax. I haven't gotten one for 2 months. I haven't gotten anything on dog licenses. I have not.
I don't even seen the dog licenses, so as far as I
Well,
know, we
that-
gave them back.
No,
I gave them to Mike the other day,
you
back.
have to go in and run a report to see how many dog licenses we've sold. We get a portion of it. I have to mail a check to the
Well,
county treasurer.
that would be great if you would tell me
It would
that.
be great if you were here to tell.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It is,
And I am frustrated beyond belief because I cannot do my job the right way because I can't access BSNA. I can't discuss with you the things that I need to discuss with you because when you come in at 1:05 and we're leaving at 2 and I'm in the middle of something, I can't always stop. And yesterday when you came in, I showed you my computer screen and said, I can't get past this.
And you did, and I tried to take care of that for you. I can't control what BSNA does.
I understand.
you
that.
have
So,
to, you have to
I
get on the phone
understand
with
that.
them,
I
same
got
time.
on them, phone with them.
not all at the same time. Any rate, I tried to do that
I feel we're
yesterday or
doing
the day
such a
before.
disservice to the residents.
I
I
do
feel
too.
I feel
Required
we're
for the
just.
treasurer's hours, what's required?
Yeah, what is required for the treasurer's office?
Nancy,
if you weren't so rude, maybe she'd work with you.
The point. If you.
It is
are-
the point,
if
because you're complaining that I don't show up here and I'm here more than any of you guys.
All right,
When
let's,
you're not.
let's move on. Let's move on with the,
Solve a problem, you know.
the date to transfer offices, all right? This was an agreement with Seth, the assessor, to move offices. Kim was gonna move into that room, that way the safe was available for when Mike takes the tax money, he can put it in the safe, the door won't be locked, okay? This was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, yeah,
Second of January.
okay. And it was supposed to happen Thursdays when Seth came in. Kim, are you gonna do that this Thursday?
No, I'm not
What?
moving, I'm not moving my office.
You're moving your office.
No, I'm not.
And we're gonna vote on that and bring up a motion.
No, we're not. I'm not moving my office.
We
That
have-
was
How's
the
that
office
paperwork?
that I was given, what I inherited. And
Resolution.
you guys want
Yeah.
me to move my office. And nobody else has to move their
The
office.
reason we're moving the office is because you have moved everything that was part of the kitchen, which we used for our break room for elections, into the voting precinct.
Because the treasurer's office is not a break room, Angie.
That's why.
That's why.
That's why we wanna move you into a
That's what we gotta
secure office that Seth has, that you can lock the door. And then we can leave that door open.
Why don't we
Mike
and you
can
trade,
reach-
why don't
Mike
we and you
can-
trade off?
You agreed to that
Mike can
before.
reach-
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And me moving would have.
I did it.
All the refrigerator, the microwaves, it's all in the back room, where everything from the kitchen is displaced. That she came in and did one night on her own.
Even though we paid to have a little cupboards
so
and
we gotta do
and a
that.
sink for people to
That's
wash their
done.
dishes, that's in her office now,
Routine business.
We have two problems, right? One, we want to be able to drop the tax money into a vault.
which
Two,
is in that room,
the treasurer wants to be able to lock her door, right?
which she could use
And
if
if
she
we
had
could solve
Seth's
those two
office.
problems, then would everybody be
We
happy?
tried.
And
Okay.
She can,
That's
No.
kind of-
Seth's
hold on.
office, which locks, and he agreed,
for the sake of everybody, the safe hasn't moved, correct?
Right.
bolted to the floor.
Okay, and the safe was in a public area before, like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because nobody has a key but Kim.
But now, because of security concerns, that has been, the door has been locked, because that's also the treasurer's current office.
Right. But she can't move to her own office.
Well, but that's the situation that exists,
Right.
right? So there, to kind of highlight the issue that you're bringing up is there's a safe that people could get to before, but can't get to now because there's an office issue with that. There, a placement of a locked door in between that and the safe.
Right.
Okay,
And another thing,
So,
if we bring our lunch to work and we have to wash something out, where do we wash it out? In the bathroom?
yeah, and there's codes against that too.
Yeah.
In a
right?
public restroom 4 feet from the toilet, I don't care to do that.
Yes.
all right.
And Kim, haven't written a tax. check
And also there was a
out?
puppy delivered to our office for our office mascot. That was in the room and there's a little playpen in there and stuff like that, so.
This other office is available
Yes.
Yeah.
just for her.
And.
Yeah.
we-
No, it's
we all
not. It
agreed to
has
this.
everything from the assessment
No, I'm
office
just saying,
has to
if
be
you,
moved out.
I'm just saying, if we moved you into this other office,
Yes.
it would just be, you'd be sharing.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be
I'll
sharing.
volunteer to move furniture. Me too.
I mean, I don't see, I don't see a problem. I mean, it's just another office, just next door. We'll just move you in there.
It's not a
It's
split.
it's still room, you can lock your door. And then we can have that vault
Sure.
open. And, I mean, would that be a problem?
No, that wouldn't be a
Okay, I'm
problem,
just
but
asking.
originally they wanted me to do all the moving,
Well, we'll
so.
help you on that, but as long as we
So
can get this
I'm
office
not-
thing, that's a simple thing.
Yeah, what do you
Just get
guys
you
here?
in the office so we can get the ball.
That's what I said.
We can go right now.
Okay.
We can do it right now.
Okay, so let's continue on because then I think we got a common ground. We're gonna get you an office that locks and then vault open.
When?
We'll get, it's ASAP.
It's in the resolution.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. let's
so
move on.
do we need to make a motion
No.
on this, or we're just moving on? Okay.
Routine business. Approval.
I did wanna go back to, we skipped
Go
over,
forward.
Yes.
we skipped over something. And I have something I'd like to also read to the board, so,
What did you skip over first?
I put on my agenda that I wanted to do the treasurer's duties.
Right here, we went over already.
No,
Yes, we did. You said you take tax money and all that other stuff.
yeah,
don't know.
but
Did
I
people
was
hear that? Okay.
talking to him about that.
You're talking to everybody. This is a meeting, but, okay, so what do you wanna say?
Okay, I have a little thing I wrote up for you guys, just so everyone knows what's going on
Don't
here.
have a copy of it to look at?
Again, we don't.
Would you like a copy? I'll go
Well, I
and
thought
find
you were
mine.
saying everything should have been provided ahead of time, so it would have been nice to have had that to read.
Agreed. So. Since taking the office in November of 24 as a duly elected treasurer in an uncontested election, I've received countless interference and harassment in executing my job as the treasurer for Columbus Township. I have had to install a security camera in my office, install a lock on my office door. I've had to contact both the sheriff and the state police, and have outlined the numerous and continued attempts to prevent me from completing my statutory duty as the elected treasurer for this community. In December of this last year, the township supervisor advised that I could install a lock on my office door to ensure better security, but then 6 days later informed me that I was not allowed to lock my office door by removing the locking door handle I had just purchased and hiding it in Mike's drawer. Then I hired a deputy treasurer as required by the state of Michigan. At the December board meeting, the board agreed to pay my deputy for 4 days a week until the end of December and 1 day a week until the end of the fiscal year, March 31st, 25, and revisit the future arrangement for the 25-26 budget at the February 25 meeting. She was then later fired by the township supervisor on 12/18, despite that position not having oversight or authority over the office of the township super, of the treasurer. And he then removed her security code, accessing to the building, her key, and said he would not pay her.
What's this have to do with your duties, though?
It's part of my duties. December of 24, it's how I can't do my duties. Deputy treasurer attests that the clerk and the township supervisor forced her to log into a computer and reinstate the administrative level access to the BNSA tax program. Note that in my talks with the MTA and other authorities, only duly elected treasurers and their designated agents have full administrative authority over the tax collection. As a treasurer, I did not grant this access and had it removed. The clerk and supervisor are considered the clerk and the supervisor are not considered my designated agents. They are not bonded through the county and they do not report to the Office of Treasury. Also in December, I started receiving calls to my personal cell phone from taxpayers. The taxpayers I questioned regarding obtaining my phone number stated it was provided to me when I called the township office. Clerical staff at the township has denied providing my number to the general public, but I have a list of names and phone numbers of taxpayers who could all attest that that they have received my personal cell phone unsolicited from a clerical staff person answering the phones at the township office.
Thank you.
January 6th, I contacted High Tech, our network software provider, because I experienced a problem with remote access. The representative from High Tech stated that the township supervisor told them to deactivate my remote access. It was further stated that I would only be granted permission to access the BNSA tax program and other application programs on site at the township office. I came into the township office the next day to resolve this matter and to attempt to complete my statutory duties. At this time, the lock on my door would not work. I questioned the township supervisor, the clerk, other clerical staff that were on site at the time if they had attempted to access my locked office and noticed damage occurred to the lock. All parties presented stated that they had not attempted to gain access to my locked office or tamper with the door handle. Approximately an hour after leaving the township office, I received a text from the township supervisor saying, had someone come out to fix your door lock, keys in the box. I responded with several text questions, but received no response. After returning to the township hall, I found a single key outside my door. At this point, I had already purchased another handle for the second time at Menards and asked my husband to replace the non-working door handle with a brand new working door
What
handle.
does it have to do with your job duties? The people
This
don't
is
wanna hear
exactly
this
what it
stuff.
has to do with my job duties, because this is what prevents me from doing my job duties.
Well, just,
When they gonna have a
After
meeting?
reviewing
These
video
guys-
surveillance,
The agenda tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. You should have lightened the whole town.
and when you put in there that the supervisor and clerk forced her to get into the tax, that was not what we said. I went and
the
asked
following
her.
complaints are
We
highlighted
had
as
a
violations of the
I have a
statute,
right,
as well as interfering with elected. I didn't interrupt you, so don't interrupt me.
we can't give her
We got
that.
time, you got people, Larry, we have stuff to do.
We all have
don't need to
stuff
hear
to
every
do.
last little detail.
But I have to say this,
Alright,
I was trying to get access to BSNA building department, assessing department, and the assessing department could not get in and do their work. I couldn't get in and check the bonds and things that I did, and it had nothing to do with tax collection. And when they went into it, the
Stop
administrator
interrupting her.
and the assessor. And
Again,
when they went into it, you were
These are the
interrupting me.
these, no, because you are interrupting me. I
When
never
they
got to
went into
finish.
it, they had taken my access and Sessa's away and put Kim and her aunt, who's her deputy, as the two.
Just stop talking, Angie.
That's her aunt. I
Let's-
need you to go
let's
in and
put
let
down
me
with
in.
the
Kim,
agenda.
help me go away.
Let's move on with the agenda.
All right, so we're gonna go past
the
the
office-
routine business.
I'd like to
So now back
what I'm
to,
saying.
back to old business.
So-
Old
Moving on, to
business.
routine business.
So routine business seems to be duplicative.
Yeah.
So I believe
Yeah,
that we.
that
can-
one we doubled,
The
so,
pool check register.
we're doing we did that already, we approved the check.
So
register.
we're on to number
We're
5.
on to
Alright.
old business. The light bill, it was just an FYI, and I see Greg, you did a typo. It's,
No.
they got sick of listening to me. I called because we didn't have, any lights at the park because the water knocked the poles down. For 6.5 months, we didn't have lights, but they kept charging us. So I called them at least once or twice a week. And I got a $2,008 credit from them. So I just wanted you guys to know.
2,800, okay, so it's
Yeah.
2008.
2,000, it was
2008?
$2,008
So,
credit,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and some change. But yeah, they
Well,
finally,
that was a good savings.
yeah, they got sick of me.
All right, we went over the 1 night a week thing. Now, what do you guys want to do as far as by appointment? Yeah.
I think we should move to appointment only because I'm kind of on call anyway, when anybody needs anything for a funeral or the cemetery. Anybody needs,
Folks,
it needs to schedule all the.
Can we have the gallery be quiet, please? We can't hear what's going on. Here, please, thank you.
let's try to finish this up. It's getting too late.
Yeah, I would like to do the appointment only, like I started to say, when people have funerals or burials.
Okay,
I've had them call me, I meet them here at night, on the weekends, on Sundays, they'd come to my house.
so we'll make a motion to do a 1 night a week upon,
Or just
Point.
let's make a motion to have, Kit says she wants to work Monday nights, so people have access anyway. But, I wanna make a motion that we have night meeting, by
By appointments.
only. People can call here and
Right.
whoever the appropriate person is,
right,
to make it a plan to meet them.
any second.
So is this taking away the late night?
This is the late
Yeah.
night, but it's by appointment only now.
Yeah, instead of, yeah.
So instead of having it.
Right.
So if it's somebody that needs something from the building department, does that mean that Justin would have to come in?
Right, right.
And then that would be.
You have to pay him overtime, right? Cause he worked his hours or.
But
No,
he
he's
doesn't-
not
he
at
doesn't-
40,
he-
he's only
he-
at 40.
We have to pay him
He
extra.
would just have to come in and take care of it, or Roland, the building official. One of them would have to do it.
Wait, is this, you guys wanna do this
Oh,
every
hold
week?
up. You
No.
guys are counting on Justin to do night appointments? That's what you count on?
You know, let's just stop.
Well, why don't you?
no.
Because my project didn't go.
All right,
Right.
we gotta
Okay,
keep some
so-
kind of order. Hold on, hold on.
No, Rob, what we're talking, instead of having like a designated day we're here, we're just gonna say, if you need to meet somebody at night, you need to call here. Say, hey, I need to meet with a supervisor on Thursday
By
night at
appointment.
6.
He's
That
not-
would be
he's not gonna-
great, but
he's not gonna be
Justin
sitting
won't
around.
listen to you. He don't even answer.
He'll
the
listen.
phone.
If somebody calls him, makes an appointment, he'll do it.
He doesn't answer the phone. He never did for me. He
I don't know,
didn't answer the
I don't know, I
phone.
see him answering the phone all day long, but.
Well, I'm telling, I ain't a liar.
I'm there,
I ain't a liar.
I'm not
Brad.
saying that.
I'm telling you.
I'm not-
Ask Mike right here.
So
One
by
answer
this-
the phone.
By this
I wanna make a
appointment
motion.
only, that you're
To,
stating, is this gonna be more money pushed on to the residents?
no,
By
it
coming in
won't.
with it
You
won't-
just
Because
change
if
the
we're
numbers.
elected
Okay, but I'm
officials.
just saying if they're here from
92.
9 to 2 on the Thursday, all of a sudden someone wants an appointment later at 7, and they come up here for an hour, are they gonna get paid more for that hour?
No, we could
Yes.
take it off as
None of
that
us get paid,
daily,
yeah.
Or
you
for
know,
what?
daily
I'm
wage.
just saying, so what, then he would only come in,
He could work
you-
4 hours.
1 hour less the following day?
Right.
To keep it balanced, so it's not gonna cost the residents
So we'll
anymore.
keep it at the
But
20
that's,
hours.
we wanna make sure it doesn't cost the residents
Yeah,
anymore.
he's allocated 20 hours a week and.
That's what he gets.
But what if somebody comes
Okay.
in and he's not here during that hour and they're doing regular business hours? I'd like to point out that the survey, and people saw it. 95% of the respondents said they wanted a late night, and only 6% said that they wanted the appointment. I'm just saying, this is what the people said that they wanted, out of 176.
Just remember this,
Using Facebook for a survey is not good.
that come during the day, because every builder, every electrician, plumber, they're coming in at 9 AM, 9:30 to pull a permit.
You gotta pay your
My
bills.
phone calls, I make,
Recording in progress.
my phone calls I get from the county, or I have to talk to people, are in the morning.
We haven't really even ran this late night through to see if it works. Why don't we just try this late night before we decide to even ditch it for this appointment only?
Well, and you're not talking about doing, you're talking about doing it every week, or like.
Yeah, every week.
Maybe barely-
Every week, like Secretary of State does.
Second and the fourth weeks of the month, do it that way people aren't screwed from their personal life. Well, what about the other work, you guys, doesn't go? Yeah, just maybe a couple weeks of.
Which the late night would help. That's what we decided, the late night,
So we need to let the public know
what day that
what the
is. and how it works.
schedule is gonna be.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
then maybe we need to table this and come up with a plan for next month.
All right,
because we
let's
got
table
too
it
many of
then.
what ifs. Yeah, let's just table this.
Hold on, though, but based on the, I'm sorry.
I got it, when they're talking about hours at night, is there a law against a woman working in a building by herself? I know when I worked in a factory, I had to have either another woman come in with me or the guard.
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure that.
I agree with Ann there.
No, I mean, I understand that, but my understanding is from the meeting, didn't we already decide that starting on Wednesday, last Wednesday, we were supposed to have late hours?
Thursday or whatever. day.
Starting the first Wednesday of
Right.
January.
So there's no trial, like, we should be open then.
Right, then we
Correct.
should be, that's what I'm saying, we haven't even. Like tested that out to see if that's bad or not, and let that run for a couple months or a few months. And then make adjustments, and we already decided that Wednesdays would be the late night for people that are work till 5 to come in, at least they know Wednesday they can come in and handle some business after work.
So then the idea of tabling is changing the current status, which is one late night a week
Or a point,
to an appointment only.
That's what we table.
Okay, all right, just for clarity, so it's a.
But is somebody gonna be here then on Wednesday, tomorrow night for the late night like it was originally?
But I thought, what I didn't think was one person, I just thought the whole office hours were shifted
That's
on
not-
that Wednesday.
That.
So
what I
now
thought
instead of
too.
Mike coming in at 9 tomorrow,
He
I
would
believe
come
that's
in
what we spoke about. He comes in at
Right.
whatever hours
2
we
to
decide
7. It was 2
for
to
the
7.
late night. And I thought
For
that's what we all
Wednesday.
voted on.
That's what I
That
thought
was the
too.
impression I had.
It's not just one person, and I thought it was one night, the township would be run later for the people.
That's what I was already
Yeah.
talking to.
And I asked,
And Mike said,
And I
get a
asked-
survey.
and I asked you,
Yeah,
Stan,
it's a Facebook survey, but I put it up to the Columbus Town.
are you coming in?
It's, what would a trustee do?
What if I come here and nobody comes? We're talking the same thing. We've got, if we're here for you are elected to help the residents.
If they need me, I'd be here. If there's at a point, someone come, I know we don't usually know, but I'm just saying, what's the difference between you working 9 to 2?
Or
Whoever comes in from 9 to 2 on Wednesday, now that the hours are shifted, they're still gonna come and do your business. They're just gonna come down from 2 to 7. And that's gonna help the people that get out of work at 5.
Kim just said she's gonna work 2 to 7 on Monday and 9 to 5 on Thursday. That's her.
But I can work my own hours.
So can I.
I didn't say you
But
couldn't.
that's what
I,
that's what I'm saying.
That's
So
what
what
I'm
are we
saying.
accomplishing? The only person being penalized
All right,
or being required would be Mike and
let's move
Justin.
on.
Then you have nobody
move
here in the
on.
morning. To do the
So
schedule.
table.
inspections.
keep everything the way it is for now. If they show up tomorrow and stay late, then I guess they show up. That's all we can do,
Already voted on.
right?
we did already vote on it, so how can we?
We could be thinking this
Now-
meeting.
No.
Let's make it.
So we're gonna table it.
Okay. and then,
Save the
Appointment
adjustment.
only, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
and,
well,
and
D,
see, we've already done, we've already discussed the budget.
yeah, and then the
So
board
that
of
D-
review.
And then D is the board of review, the thing we need to do for the board of review, Elaine resigned, so we need to appoint one of our alternates,
Move Scott Silver up to the,
make Scott
Active.
Silver an
and,
active member.
You know, alternate, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a motion to have Scott Silver finish out Elaine's term.
Second,
I second,
roll call?
Roll call, yes, Jared,
yes.
Stan,
No,
Kim,
I don't wanna vote either way.
she
I
abstains.
think we have to vote. I thought there was you can't abstain unless you have a valid reason. I think you can't abstain if you weren't at the meeting.
I feel like we should bring Diane Cooper and then if
All right.
Elaine,
What do you vote, Angie?
I vote yes.
I vote yes also.
Okay.
Carries.
Carries,
Now,
motion carries.
are we going to entertain now or in the next meeting, somebody to replace somebody on the altar?
Well, we do have one alternate.
We have another alternate.
Yeah, we have another alternate.
Okay, new business. All right. Are we doing this?
So, new business, approved change in building permit fees.
Oh, yeah, okay. That wasn't what you changed then.
Well, Justin was supposed to give us a little.
All right, so we don't have that, then we'll table that to the next meeting. Moving on.
Discuss collecting fees with building planner.
Building
That,
planner.
I don't have any documentation, but we have, the Sportsman's Club wants to do something at their shooting range, and they need to do a site plan. I called the planner to find out what their fees are, because we have a new planner now. Our old planner charged a flat rate. This guy said it's gonna be a lot more money than our old planner. The township always collects $250 for our portion of the paperwork. But then the planner has to review the site plan and make the final recommendations and approvals, right? And, he charges by the hour. So he said it's gonna be quite a bit more than what we used to charge. His suggestion that a lot of townships do is they make the people, say, give $1,000 escrow. We take the fees out of there, and once everything is done, we refund the difference. That's what he said most townships do. I don't know if we wanna do that, because we don't know how long it will take them to do a site plan. I mean, to review a site plan. He said usually 4 hours, and his lowest paid employee is $115 an hour.
Okay, so we don't have all the actual numbers then for that,
Well, he
right?
doesn't, because he said if he uses his lowest paid one, we have no way of knowing what he's going to do.
Okay, so then maybe we should
Well, what
find a
I-
little bit more information on that, or get
Well,
it
what-
together for next meeting.
This is what thought occurred to me, because I think Mike and I talked about it before. Would it be more logical for us to say you owe the township $250 for the site plan? And then the planner can bill them the difference. We talked about this before, because we really have no control over him, because if he's gonna bill us and then we're just passing the bill on, would it be more logical for him to just bill the person requesting the site plan?
Is there a way to cap it on the site plan?
I don't know. He said he charges by the hour. That's what he told me when I talked to him.
Yes, maybe we'll do a little more number crunching on that.
Well, I was kind of hoping we could find out, because the standard, they said they were bringing that back next.
Yeah, I think they'd like to know what's
Well,
gonna
that's what
cost.
I thought. That I kind of wanted to know something so I could tell that lady. But I didn't have an answer for her.
Well, you said 4 hours at $115.
So that's what, that's 230, that's 460 plus our 250. So that's 710. So I don't know if we want, I don't know. What you guys think?
Well, I don't know, you guys can talk it over with the planning commission again?
Well, we have to make the decision, and they want to bring that site plan next month. They said they're not in any hurry. That one guy said, remember? He said. it
Yeah,
was-
they just like to get this, everything lined up, so.
Yeah, they
whether
kind of want to know
they
what it's
can
gonna
get rolling
cost,
on it.
yeah.
They're putting in another fiscal.
So I guess I could call her and just say, we haven't come up with a final figure, but it might be around this much, just the same kind of thing.
Tell them $1,000 to be safe.
Yeah.
Tell them it's probably gonna be less, but.
And that's what he suggested, like taking a retainer from them.
Hey Stan, wasn't that suggested in the meeting that they were gonna take retainer and then whatever was left over was gonna be given back?
Yeah, that's what we talked about, right?
Yeah, it may have been, it could, probably in the minutes.
So then we'll stick with that.
So do we want to make a motion to collect like a $1,000 retainer on a site plan? Right. And then refund anything left over or bill out the rest?
No, good.
Okay.
All right, make the motion, you made it, right?
Okay, I'm gonna make the motion to take $1,000 retainer. For site plan. And what are special land use too? For site plans or special land use.
And then
I'll second.
Stan,
Stand as, okay.
okay. Roll, Angie,
Yes.
Kim,
Yeah.
Jared,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Brad, yes, motion carries. All right, discuss bonds for clerk treasurer and deputy treasurer, the bonds.
I think everybody should have gotten a copy of this. I talked to MMRMA, which is our blanket insurance, and he said that we are covered up to $1 million unless we have, we would be bonded for $1 million for any kind of, oh, here, you read it. Embezzlement types of claims, they're in their duties in the township. The only caveat is if anybody's been convicted or found to have an embezzlement or felony charge, then they won't bond them. So, I mean, we could get rid of our surety bonds, he told me, and just go with this, as long as we, and then if there were by some chance somebody couldn't be bonded, then they would have to contact the township and let us know that they'd have to have it.
So that's just you and Kim and the deputy.
And the two
No,
deputies.
the treasurer and the deputy treasurer have to have a surety bond. It is the Michigan law. We cannot use, and I'm
Well,
pretty
that's-
sure the Michigan law,
Last month you told me your aunt didn't have to be bonded.
No,
she was under your bond.
I didn't send out the check right away because I thought she was covered under our bond, my bond. And then when we went to that township, training, we found out that she wasn't. So then when I came back, I mailed out the check because we did the bond. So
Why don't I
Yeah.
call the MTA and get the final?
I'm looking at it right here.
So
So let's table that and I'll find out more.
discuss the credit card bill.
I just need us to make the credit card bill a post audit item so it doesn't get a late fee. I just
Well,
wanna make a motion.
Where is the credit card bill for us to look at?
It's still sitting on my desk because I don't have the authority to write that check. It just came yesterday. So it's not part of this. And it's due next week.
So we still gotta go over
That'll come in next, yeah, and I'll start making copies of all the invoices like I did before. But I just wanna make a motion to make the credit card bill a post audit item so that we can pay it, not incur a late fee.
Okay, any seconds? All right, then I'll second it. Let's take a vote. Jared,
So you want to pay the credit card bill,
When it comes in,
but when are we gonna receive what's on it?
when.
After it's paid.
After it's
After
paid,
it's
but we
paid.
do that with, we've had to do
No.
that.
You have some kind of invoice right now, don't you?
Oh, I have one now, but I haven't paid, but. that
No, I'm just
means-
saying that what's spent on the card, I mean, something that we can review.
If you wanna look at it before.
Yeah, I'd like to do it before we vote on it, so
I'll bring it.
I make some copies.
I mean, we can
We're
change
approved,
the,
just to make
the,
sure that-
the day that it's due to be paid.
But I thought about that and it may not always work out. That's
Well,
the
why don't-
problem.
Why don't we just change it to the 1st and then it'll always work out because we'll have time, or I mean, the 15th and we'll have time.
Credit card is- What?
They use the
Office?
purchase office stuff and just.
It's general, it's a general office.
I don't know, I don't use it. Supposed to get a copy of that too, but.
Did that come through the requisition? You better make-
They're supposed to, before they purchase, they're supposed to fill out a requisition form. And bring it to me. And get it approved, and then they can make the purchase, and then it comes in on the credit card, I check them, and then bills can get paid. That's how it's supposed to happen. Standard operating procedure, anybody needs to make a purchase, they gotta fill out the requisition form and bring it to me.
Here's the copy.
First.
Look at it.
Requisition form looks like this. They say what they want, how much it costs. So. Okay, so, you got it there, Andrew?
I just gave it to Jared to look at.
Okay,
my
so-
copy. He's gonna pass one. I can read it to you.
See, that's,
It's membership where is the website. We pay monthly. Pitney Bowes is postage for the postage meter. And then Staples is just office supplies. And a second Staples, which was a drum for my printer. That's what was on that card.
No, limit like $100 and up, they must use it again, or is it for all purposes?
Well, it's supposed to be for all of them.
At the beginning, it was $500, I mean, it was $500.
No, anything under 500, the policy we had from previous. Anything under 500 and under, the supervisor could approve.
You gotta make
If
sure.
it's
you meet
over
what you
$500, you have to bring it to the board to get approved.
And everybody has access to the credit card?
No,
Like, who has that? You?
I had to get it in my name because I'm the clerk and I'm responsible, so I have it. And then Michael used it like when he orders staples.
But it really
She's
should
the one
go,
that's got it.
it really should go on someone else's
Over
name.
that. We can vote on it.
I see these already, so.
It really
What?
should go on someone else's name, the credit card.
Okay, when the credit card comes, what approximate date does it come in?
This is the first one we ever got because we just opened this because we had to cancel. It came in Monday and it's due the 28th. It came in yesterday. It's due the 28th.
It should actually go on Brad's name because he doesn't do the requisite of the checks and balances of the money. So he is impartial to that. So it should go in his name, or he'd be the authority or the keeper of it or whatever, because he is impartial. Me and you both deal with the money.
That's why we have.
We should not,
Just know that I gave Mike the card to lock up because I don't keep it with me because he has to, he's the
Right.
one that does the.
Okay.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is because me and you check each other's bank
But
records.
the lady at the bank said I had to be in my name on it.
Okay, so.
Are we going to make this a post audit item so I can pay these bills?
Second, ready to go to vote now?
Basically, all we have.
Yeah,
to
if you
use the
want,
words
if you made the motion,
Second, right? So I'm, yes, to pay the.
all right, so Jared says yes.
Okay.
Stan?
Yes.
Kim?
Yeah,
Angie?
Yes.
Brad, yes, motion carries.
Can we ask the credit card company to move it to like the 15th,
yeah, we can.
right, the statement date? And then
Yes.
This way you'll get 30 days from the 15th, which then should bring you, we won't need to be a post audit issue anymore.
Okay,
Correct.
I
so
love that idea.
put that in the minutes, and then, we can have that taken care of hopefully by next month. All right, we have F is dike security.
No, we have closed
Closed.
holiday.
Oh, the closed holiday, yeah. So which holiday coming up next? We're gonna be
Martin
closed.
Luther King is on Monday.
So, we'll be closed Monday, if that's all right with you guys, you wanna close on the Monday?
Most places follow the county and state or federal guidelines.
I guess the bigger question, just to make it a lot easier, is do we want to follow the state or county guidelines? And then you can just kind of push it through the rest of the year and not have to worry about it. That's just
I
a suggestion.
think we should.
So,
Anybody wanna make a motion?
you made a motion?
I'll make a motion to follow the state and federal guidelines.
Second.
My second.
State and
Jared.
federal or state and county.
Take-
They were all those were thrown out.
County, I think, kind of follows the state, I think. But what do you want to make it?
I would suggest probably the county,
Yeah.
State
since we
and
deal,
county?
that's
Okay.
our next, okay.
Okay, so, you seconded it?
Yes.
Okay, Angie? Vote.
I said yes.
Yes, Kim?
Yeah,
Dan?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
Brad, yes. Motion.
Can we have those published at some point?
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah, I actually
Get on
printed
the-
it off. I gave them a copy of the dates that. from the
come
county.
on.
I printed that this morning.
All right, so like security.
All right, so I was asked to put together a couple resolutions, so I figured it was easier to do it in written fashion and then we can roll through it. So the first one is dealing with dike security and Brad can give context to it after I just read the resolution. Whereas Dyke Security Services is the township's authorized security contractor. Whereas the supervisor has historically been responsible for the security of the township offices and the main point of contact with Dyke Security Services. Whereas other township officials and staff have contacted Dyke Security Services without the knowledge and or authorization of the supervisor. Whereas such unauthorized contact has and or will cause confusion, added cost, and potentially a security breach, increasing the township's security risk. So those are the premises for the resolution. Brad, if you have any additional.
Well, what that all involves, basically the security is if somebody breaks in here or the alarm goes off or whatever. Unauthorized access, they call me, all right? So then I gotta come down here. I just live over there on Crawford Road, so I gotta come down here and take care of the situation. That's about the biggest thing of the issue, okay? As far as any access to the who gets in and who gets out, who I give codes to punch in the door to come in, who I don't want to have the codes, that would be me also. So the people that are authorized to come in is who I will give the codes to, okay? Also with the cameras, if people needed to have something for you. All right, I was just taught on how to do that again today, to FOIA the information or the video footage that somebody wants, and then I can give it to them. So that's basically the responsibility of the security.
And so if that's the case, then if a motion is approved, the Board of Trustees would resolve that the supervisor or a designee of the supervisor or Board of Trustees, as may be designated from time to time by written authorization or resolution, shall be the only authorized agents of the township able to contact Dyke Security Services. Any security issues by any township official, employee, or citizen should be addressed to the supervisor or the designee. So what that would do is if the motion is carries and is resolved, then the board can make a decision to designate somebody also, or the supervisor can too, for instance, Mike, for instance, or anybody, right? Obviously within reason, then you would have the ability to restrict it if necessary further on. Because ultimately the board has the legislative power to restrict kind of those.
So one contact person, is really what I'm saying, correct?
Correct.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, take a vote. Angie,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Brad, yes, motion carries. Next
But
one,
with that being said, though, I think that all the board members should have access to the camera.
treasurer, okay, what are we doing first?
So,
E,
so the next,
Depends, I didn't say anything, I guess.
gonna address that, or?
No, I
Address
guess
what?
not. That me just saying that
We
I,
just voted.
to give it to one so Brad.
I heard the security issue.
Voted for contact.
And then when
Yeah,
one person.
okay, Brad.
Stand.
Brad
Oh,
is
somebody-
the contact,
Okay, and they get it from Brad. That's what you just voted on.
that's what I'm saying, but what I'm saying
Residents.
is I feel that we should, all of us on the board should be able to have the cameras on our phones or however you have access to the cameras without having to FOIA it, just the board members.
Vote on it.
what for?
Vote on it.
Vote on it.
The
We
board.
just voted on it. We
No,
just
we
voted.
voted on you being the contact.
Okay, you voted on one contact person.
That's what you voted on.
Yes.
The last board had it.
You don't answer, who do they call?
We call Angie.
He designates this.
Yeah, he can designate whoever, that's
That's right.
not what I'm saying, I'm just saying that we should all on the board be able to have access to those cameras. Not like you can go in and do anything, you should be able to have access to the
I
camera.
agree.
Why
I agree
not?
with that, we all should have access to that.
Read only access is what
It's
you're.
not a job.
Everyone should be able to.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, everybody should be able to,
Well-
right, read only, not
Right.
go in and make changes.
Right now, I'm kind of afraid of an issue because of the unauthorized people coming into the treasurer's office there and working in the office. That some of these videos will be erased, okay?
It's,
And I'm having the same issue,
And
getting my FOIA request.
you got it, you just didn't know how to do it.
Oh, that's a load of crap.
No.
I know how to load,
B-
I know how to load.
BF video and the guy came here and put it right
Okay,
in
well,
there.
Mike, are you as dumb as I am then, because you tried to load it, right, Mike?
When I plugged it into my laptop, it wouldn't download, it said there was an issue.
You had to use the BF something app. That's what it was. You don't have the app, do it.
Maybe you should give instructions with your force.
We need instructions. Code that. but I think we
You'll
should
get
all
instructions then.
have to-
So I'll get you the number tomorrow.
If the treasurer is bringing in unauthorized people.
All right, can we,
Why is that?
you wanna
hidden
write
from
it out?
the
So we-
I feel like,
Okay,
as
so where we
residents,
going?
we want to be able to see and have proof of it.
So I got proof of
All right,
it, but
hold on.
anyway,
Wait, hold on,
You have proof, but can we see that?
all right, we're moving on.
hold on. There was still discussion on the floor with Stan, right? Stan. So the idea that was put on the table was access to the cameras. Right? Now, when you meant access, like you can just see it constantly, or what were the thoughts about access?
If we need to download something,
Yeah, just having it on our phone so we can see them too. Not be the contact person, not be the,
What do you mean having it on your phone? Like
so I
right
can
now, you
log
can
in right
log in
now
right now
and
and,
see, yes.
okay, and that,
Board can see everything.
Yeah, just read access.
is that what you're
It's in
thinking?
You need to find out if security company can even do that.
They can.
Because it's difficult to get read-only access to something without having administrative rights to use.
That's
I do this. for
That's
a
the
living,
problem.
I know what I'm talking about.
That's the problem.
So check with the security company, find out if you can give read-only access to people who care to them.
So.
If the security company says they can do it, then who cares?
right,
We get more
so
information,
we
gets more
can
information.
find out, we can get read on.
Website. All right, we get it down there. Frequency access, table till next.
But you gotta.
All right, where are we going from here,
So
Mr. Steve?
now, the next resolution that I was asked was the treasurer's resolution. So, do you want to give context first, or do you want me to read from it? I think we,
Go ahead.
all right, so this resolution states as follows. Whereas Article 7, Section 18 of the Michigan Constitution of 1963 establishes the office of the township treasurer. Specifically, in each organized township, there shall be elected a supervisor, a clerk, a treasurer, and not to exceed 4 trustees, whose legislative and administrative powers and duties shall be provided by law. Whereas MCL 441.76 governs the general duties of the township treasurer, which states, the treasurer shall receive and take charge of money belonging to the township, or that its bylaws require to be paid into the township treasury, and shall pay over and account for the money, according to the order of the township board or the authorized officers of the township. Whereas MCL 4177, Section 5 provides in part, 41.77, subsection 5, provides in pertinent part that the treasurer shall appoint a deputy who shall serve at the pleasure of the treasurer. The deputy, in case of absence, sickness, death, or other disability of the treasurer, shall possess the powers and perform the duties of the treasurer, except the deputy shall not have a vote on the township board. The deputy shall be paid as the township board determines. With the approval of the township treasurer, the deputy may assist the treasurer in the performance of the treasurer's duties at any additional times agreed upon between the board and the treasurer. Whereas the Board of Trustees has a fiduciary responsibility to ensure that the township business is functioning effectively, efficiently, and in accordance with the law and policies of the board. Whereas it has become apparent that the treasurer, Kimberly Hetzel, has ignored township policies, has failed in her statutory duties to receive and to take charge of the monies belonging to the township, pay over and account for the money according to the township's board orders and the directives, to wit, failing to be available during the township office hours to collect tax revenue from citizens, purchasing items without first seeking authorization from the township pursuant to the published policies and procedures, limiting or otherwise restricting access of other township officials and employees to relevant and necessary programs like BSNA, for which they had access prior to the treasurer's assuming office. Failing to follow the directives of the supervisor and move out of the current office into a more secure office location in the building. Unauthorized use of deputy outside of the scope of work authorized by the Board of Trustees. Failing to otherwise follow the standard operating procedures published on the authority of the Board of Trustees. Failing to pay the township's bills and other obligations, including employees' compensation. Allowing unauthorized personnel to access the non-public office area of township offices without authorization from the supervisor or the board. Access training in a manner not authorized by the Board of Trustees or the supervisor. Utilizing non-governmental computers and non-governmental networks to discharge the treasurer's duties. Whereas the Board of Trustees desires to address these issues and prevent any further issues with the treasurer, it is now therefore upon motion. That's if a motion is brought and granted. The following, the resolves the following. To better serve the citizens of Columbus Township and discharge the fiduciary and statutory duties of the office of the treasurer, the Board of Trustees requires the treasurer to be present during the township office hours. To better account for the expenditures and to prevent fraud and waste, the treasurer must follow township policies with regard to seeking township approval for expenditures. For the efficient and effective administration of official duties, the treasurer must grant or otherwise restore township officials and employees access to BSNA or other necessary programs to the level and extent that access was granted prior to the treasurer taking office. Treasurer must move her office on January 16, 2025 to the office location designated by the supervisor. Consistent with MCL 41.77 subparagraph 5, treasurer must cease any and all unauthorized use of the deputy treasurer and must seek approval of the Board of Trustees prior to any further use not provided for in MCL 41.77 subsection 5. Treasurer must follow the standard operating procedures and policies published on the authority of the Board of Trustees. Treasurer must from henceforward faithfully and diligently pay the township's bills and other obligations, including employees' compensations in a timely manner. Treasurer shall not allow unauthorized personnel to access the non-public office area of the township offices without authorization from the supervisor or board. At this point, the only authorized personnel is the deputy treasurer. Any and all training that is outside of the township MTA subscription or in person shall be requested and approved by the supervisor or the Board of Trustees prior to attendance if the treasurer or her deputy seeks reimbursement. To preserve sensitive citizens' personal information, treasurer shall only utilize government-issued computers and within government-provided secure networks.
So, since I haven't got to see this until you just read it, let me respond to some of the stuff in there. Let's
Does
start.
anybody want to put a motion on for that?
No, we don't, because I
Hold on,
have.
hold on. You have motion, then you have discussion. So you can have all the discussion you want, you can respond to all of that.
Okay.
But that was what was requested, are you calling for a motion on that?
Yeah, I'm calling for a motion. We need to have specific hours to be working. We need to transfer the offices for convenience of the people in the office and less, arguing about it. You'll have your own room. That was all worked out before. Now you don't want to do it for some reason, but.
So we're good on that.
So,
Right,
So, but what is your motion?
so the motion, yeah, it's everything they said here, and then,
so who,
do your job basically and do it in a timely manner. There's just,
did you make the motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. Need a second. I mean, people that were supposed to get paid on the first got paid yesterday, whatever, it can't be done like that.
You haven't gotten your check?
No, I have this check in my office.
Okay, so you were supposed to get your check on the first. You didn't get yours yet either, see?
First of all, we weren't even here on the first, because you guys didn't open back up till the
Okay.
second.
So, is there any
So,
seconds on the motion? Motion on discussion.
There is.
yeah, so,
Oh, we have a support on the
oh
motion.
yeah, I have lots of discussion, lots
Okay.
of discussion I want to say. So can I borrow this? Cause I'd like,
You have.
I don't have a copy.
You gotta vote on it and then discuss it, or discuss it and then vote on it.
This is Dyke Security.
Got 5 minutes.
Discuss it, work your own hours.
There is nowhere in the statutory duties does it say we have to be here at a certain time, first of all? Second, many people have other jobs, as do I. I do run a business. And so that is one thing. Second of all, the purchase request form that Brad approved, every single thing on here before I purchased it. Yes, you did. In fact, at our.
Where's the
very
forms?
first-
Where's the form?
The form's right here. I just didn't fill it out to you.
Who signed it on the bottom? You.
I
You
signed
filled
it.
it out, you
'Cause
signed
I
it.
signed it to give it to you. When you sign it, when I fill it out, I sign it and hand it to you.
Where's my signature on that?
Anyhow.
Where's my signature?
Anyhow, at the very first board meeting we had, I brought it up that I had paid for some online classes. And that we could pay the difference and upgrade the membership to a premium membership. So Angie, that was agreed upon. I paid $807.50 for the trainings that I was supposed to be reimbursed for. Back on,
Where's the requisition form for that?
right here.
The one you filled out and signed. Okay, that's right. I remember now.
So am I not supposed to fill out a requisition form and give it to you?
Well, but it was over.
Where is my
It
signature?
was approved. That's the
When
thing.
I'm asking, where-
The signature would be approved.
But
Right.
Then you spend money.
But that's not how he did it at
the
first.
policy.
No.
At first, he did not do it like that. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Then, when I was printing out tax pages, we ran out of paper. We did not have a credit card. I said to Brad, I need to go to Staples and get paper, other stuff. He told me to give him Post-it notes. I went, bought it, brought it back, gave him a receipt. I had a key made. Fine, I'll eat the key for the assessing office. Then I bought. Excuse me.
These pages are all.
Then you bought a whiteboard, you bought a calendar for $70, you bought a
No.
computer, you bought a chair, you bought all this stuff.
Did you get a bill? for
But you
the
didn't,
computer? You did
you didn't give us a receipt for all of it, that's right, you changed
I
your
didn't
mind.
do all of it for you guys. I only did part of it.
But this here says.
And the received stamp and an enter stamp I bought because the old stamp said paid, which you legally cannot use on a tax bill.
Then why, when you go
And-
at the bank, they stamp it paid?
Right.
I don't know, maybe because they're a bank, but we cannot. And it said Phoebe's name on it still. Phoebe's not the treasurer. So you're telling me then every person sitting up here gets mileage back and forth. So when I go to the post office and send out stuff or drop off stamps or pick it up, all my stuff to a training, to the banks, any of that, I don't print all, I don't get real.
Well, If you look at that, if you look at that part of the list, just give me a second, you'll see where she went to the post office and then the bank and charged double miles on the same day. Now, the post office and the bank are what, a quarter mile away? You're gonna double charge 10 miles? Why? Why?
Andrew just said a little while
Post
ago.
office and the bank in Richmond is what, quarter mile away, is it not PNC? Go down Main Street, maybe a mile?
Now a mile, not a quarter.
Yeah, they don't pick up here, why would?
Yeah, you could.
Just leave it in.
Yeah.
Because we have to go to the post office to get stamps, stuff like that for mailing out. We have
Yeah, stamp machine.
Mike cannot use the stamp machine to mail out all the tax bills. That was not able to do because we had no credit card to load the postage on the stamp machine.
Okay, but let me say this $807, Brad didn't even have the authority to approve, even if you had given it to him, because anything over 500 hasn't come to the board.
I didn't know that. How am I supposed to know that? I bet he didn't know that.
Don't know.
So
But you did, maybe you should have verified some of this before you did this. This is
I
what
did
saying.
verify this and asked all that stuff, Angie. You weren't there for the conversation, so you don't know. So the received stamp, the entered stamp that we use, so you're telling me the stuff that I paid for taxpayers to do my job, you are not gonna pay me back for?
5 minutes away.
So what is this thing from Amazon?
The received stamp and the entered stamp. that's dated that we use
I
to
can't see
stamp.
this 'cause it's all cut off.
Okay, so. What are we gonna?
And
do?
then what else?
So-
Wait, there's more conversation that needs to happen on
No,
this.
you get 5 minutes. You
No.
know, these people don't wanna be here all night for this.
That's
They can
fine.
go home if they wanna go home, let her talk, you get
Yeah.
your chance.
Why don't you just kind of give it a break here, because, you know, we can't go all night reiterating the same thing over and over. She didn't get a requisition for these
And then
things she bought.
If
Then-
somebody's being accused of something, they have the right to.
defend myself.
Yeah, 100%.
And you accused them a lot.
Yes, she did.
If you, he has the right to rebuttal that if she's accused of it.
I do, tell me exactly how, first of all, the only electronic, payments that have not been credited are the ones through Point and Pay. I did print out every single one that shows from the day I started to today. Says there is absolutely zero cash tax payments from them. They have a ticket open and I'm trying to figure out where these payments are. I have no control over Point and Pay. Other than I can do it. Every other electronic check that has been processed is in the computer. Except for these.
There, I got a phone call today, from a lady who said she paid at the end of December and it hasn't cleared.
I know,
Another lady.
I know,
called
that's
me
what I'm trying to say.
From December.
We don't know
2nd.
why. They're in process.
She said, the one lady who called me said, well, when I called in the summer, they said all she did was click a button and it accepted my payment. And it went through immediately.
Well, I've been on that tax thing looking for it. All my other ones have credited when you post them to the program. But for some reason, these Point and Pay ones are out in limbo somewhere. Nobody knows where
Some
they're
of
at.
that Point and Pay is also from the building department, right?
The building department is the permits are the only ones that have gone through. I don't know why. It's something with the website. Because the building permits go through, but the ones for the taxes do not. Again, I did ask to purchase everything before I bought anything. I'm moving the office, so
So but you get put here staples. You didn't put, I need a whiteboard, I need magnets, I need a magnetic pen, I need.
I didn't put any of that on
Right.
it.
I want a binder, I want a teal binder, I want another binder.
I just bought binders with different colors so I could keep the
Well,
taxes
just-
separate from
just-
general,
Just know this,
from
just know this.
the trust and
Just know
agency.
this. We do this through Staples, through our business account,
Correct.
we get a discount, we don't pay
Correct.
sales tax.
Correct.
So you should have, before you went and bought it, said, hey, can we just
Angie-
have to go and order it?
Look at the date on it. It's back from November 29th when we did not have a credit card to be
But
able
this
to
wasn't-
do that.
This wasn't critical that you had to have it that day. I
Yes,
mean,
it
you
was. I
could've-
needed the paper.
Well, the
We
paper, I
couldn't
agree.
print
The
paper.
the paper, I agree.
But why would I go and get something
Because the rest of the
to,
stuff you could have waited and ordered through our discount through Staples.
it's not that big of a discount.
I
It's
think-
like,
It doesn't
so
matter.
I'll give you back $10 for it.
This isn't my
Like,
money.
it's not
This isn't my-
exactly,
This isn't
exactly.
I think the issue is
That
this-
was there to
This is
do
their
the
money.
job.
This is their money.
Exactly, and I needed that to do the job. I can't collect tax payments if I can't mail them out.
I think the
No.
issue we have is we have a requisition process that hasn't been followed. Right.
Well,
Right.
the requisition process when we started was. As long as it's under $500, we can fill this out after we get it.
No,
I know he's
before-
not gonna admit to it,
before.
but that is what,
No,
that
before.
is what it was.
You can't think about that. I'm gonna go buy this, and then I'm gonna ask you if it's okay. That's not even logical.
Then it comes out
I
of your pocket.
said to him, I've said to him, is it all right if I go get this? And it was yes.
Paper, I agree. All of
The
this-
stamp, we
the-
need it.
The stamp,
The MTA
The-
online training, I paid for because I was getting reimbursed for it. Hence why you only paid $1,000 towards the premium membership, because I had already paid the $807.50. out of the 1,900.
And that was agreed in the last.
Yes, it
at
was.
The last board meeting, the board members did agree that you were going to get that
The
NPA.
unauthorized personnel he's speaking of is my husband in my office. And that's it. That's the
There was
unauthorized.
somebody else here yesterday.
Yeah, there was another treasurer here from Clyde Township and one from Wales Township helping me with BSNA.
You must be able to get on, can you get on the, camera?
And according,
Hold on though. When it comes to, the board had already decided a few months ago about security, about limiting access to the back of the office, right, because of security issues. And I believe that it was not exclusive of anybody who's related or anything else. I think it was like authorized personnel only. Right, so
I guess, what do you, so authorized personnel is only people who work here? Why can't we have taxpayers in our offices?
Yeah, we own
okay, so let's take that for a second and think about this. That would mean that anybody is allowed in the back, and that's inappropriate. It is not secure. It is inappropriate. And the authorization, the person who is in charge of this building is Brad. He's the elected official that's in charge of the security of this building. The buck stops with him. And so there's an authorization process that allows for that, and this board. So this can be reviewed by the board. And the board can authorize certain people in there, right? When the board hired Mike, he then became an authorized person to go behind there, to access the safe, to do all these things. Those are risk issues that have to be decided by the board and cannot be decided by just one person.
I
Right.
agree to that, but we also, at some point, are allowed to have some say in what goes on in our offices. I'm not pulling in some homeless guy
No,
off of
but
the
you're
street.
bringing somebody,
My
hold on
husband
though, hold on.
who's coming into work in here because my door handle was broken off,
Well, those, but see.
removed.
Hold
My
on,
door
hold on,
handle was
on.
removed from my door.
And the sheriff can contest it was a hostile situation, and that's the reason why I was here.
And she was escorting him well in an unauthorized area, right?
But it's still, but hold on, it's still unauthorized, is it not? You just said it, it's an unauthorized area,
Well,
so,
it was, yeah.
so,
it was
and I understand that there's other issues going on,
Is
right?
it marked unauthorized?
But Michael Hott says it's the people's house.
Well,
I
he
don't know.
came in
I
through this door, but not through the back door.
I don't
The
know.
back door says the same thing in those boxes, but
I don't know.
It's gotta have a key.
and in any case, the board had made a decision to increase security, right? And the
But when the
authorization,
security is within, and you're worried about, when I'm worried about her security, I'm coming in.
but then you
Alright?
will also
I
be
didn't
trespassing.
make a threat. I didn't say a word.
Who did make a threat?
You came here and decided that I had to leave.
And
Then you called
remove
the
my door
cops.
handle.
Yeah,
Did
My
you-
locking door
You wait,
handle
wait,
off
man.
of my office.
you came in through the back with her. I felt threatened.
Why? What did
Why
I
are
say to
you
you,
coming
Brad?
in here? You said,
Here's
you
a
said-
woman,
you
and
said-
you got countless,
No, when
you
you
fight with
come
every
in-
woman in this, when you come to
when you
planning
came
board.
I felt threatened that you
Okay.
came in with her. Why? She said she needed your help. Your help for what? I need his help. Help for what? Well, in case I need his help. Help for what? He can't do your job. He's unauthorized. So what is he doing back there?
Did you break into her office?
Okay, are we moving on?
Well,
People are afraid of you, Brad. People are afraid of you.
I'm bringing a motion. Is
Brad
somebody gonna
made
second
motion
it?
and I support it.
Okay.
And you just
So we're
remember
gonna
that
have
you
a-
guys are
We're
also,
gonna have a
you
vote?
guys are also,
I think
the ones. You are also elected officials also, and when we start this, when we all took this job and took the statutory, oath to work for the people, it doesn't say anywhere that you have to work here I have to be here from the time that it's good for you. You leave every day at 1:30. You're not here till 2 every day. Every single day you're out of here at 1:30. The whole
Am
time
I?
we were closed
I think
for the holiday,
think
I was
this
here
issue-
every day.
it needs to be different because I agree that we gotta set some hours for the people. So we have to figure that out, but before we just go ahead and say, we gotta see what works with Kim. I mean, let's be honest, you know, I'm sitting up here, and this is disgusting.
Absolutely.
We have to get,
Absolutely.
I feel embarrassed, and I apologize to the community, because this should not be this way.
Absolutely.
We have to fix this within. So we gotta sit down and figure out these hours that will work. I understand Kim has a job, she can't be here every day, so we'll figure out, but you do understand, we gotta be here. Kim, she's said that she understands that. We gotta figure out what hours work for and post them. We gotta table this, so we get some more definite times and work together, because this is disgusting.
It's
It's-
terrible.
We gotta get this.
If you don't throw your
Okay,
job
but let's,
on Mike.
okay, but let's table this.
Job on Mike.
Let's table this, get achieve hours and work and.
I guess my question is, so there's a few things that are on here that were kind of somewhat resolved at the kind of beginning.
Right, the moving of the office.
Moving of the
yes,
office,
Yep,
right? You know, when it comes to security with the authorized personnel. Right, following operating procedures, and that really is affected to everyone, right? But that's a decision that was made by the board. You know, I think perhaps maybe not adopting the motion as it is complete, but cherry picking the ones that can be resolved and that kind of already been resolved.
That's fine.
Technically, she doesn't have to be here every day, she does. But I think the point we're trying to make here is she needs to be available sometime during the office hours when people come in and have questions that we can't answer. And
So-
I've had 2 emails from one lady who says, I don't get a return call, and my taxes.
Oh, show me that because that.
So we're gonna table point number 1.
Gotta make
Where we
it.
at?
So she's not afraid.
Page number 3.
Okay.
Page number 3, the bullet point number 1.
Okay.
It says table, that one there.
Yep.
Okay,
So how are we doing this? Cross it off.
yeah. Follow township policies regarding seeking township approval for expenditures. That would be the next second bullet point.
No, we need to do that.
So that one stays.
I mean, I had to
That's,
have,
we got. that-
yeah,
I think we need to.
I'm fine with, I think we need to table the whole thing
Exactly.
because I haven't even got to look at it
Right,
till right now.
this is what I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting. You cannot give us information, the trustees especially, and let us make a good judgment call on this. It's influence, it's wrong. This stuff was supposed to be available to me by Thursday at noon. Everything that we were talking, no,
Let me
Angie,
finish.
we've been down this before.
we have, and I've seen you looking at your packet on Tuesday night, half an hour before the meeting.
Well, that's.
Yes, and I was all,
Got it from Bruce.
no,
Let's.
that happened
We
once.
want to table the whole thing. All right, so can we have a motion?
In 22 years, that
I motion,
happened.
I motion to table.
Are we?
Table it.
We're still moving the office. That was one.
That was another thing, but we're table.
Well, we didn't have a motion for that. Do we want to at least have that? I mean,
I'll make the motion
Table
to
the whole thing.
table.
This is my busy season right now. I don't have time to pack up my whole office, move to another room, unpack everything, reorganize, when this is my busy. Do we want to do it at the end of February? That's fine. I will move February 28th. But until that day, this is my business.
How are we gonna secure the money between them?
We won't.
I already have the money secured. The money isn't an issue.
Well,
Like, the money in
Say a
that
lot.
back thing,
Did a lot-
it
lot-
is safe.
It's locked.
It is a safe.
Okay.
It is locked.
But she's the only
So-
one that's got the key.
Kim, do you have an issue leaving a key to it?
A key to what?
that I
To that?
That I can use to access that phone?
there you go.
Fine, that's fine.
But you need a key to our office now.
What's that?
No, not a key to my office. He said a key to that vault, to the one in the
I
back.
don't need a key to the vault.
He needs a key to
Because
your
you open the
office.
top and you put the money in. I need to get in the office to get to the vault, to put the money in there. That's all I'm asking.
So
Then if you're not willing to give him the key, then I don't think he should take.
I don't either.
payments.
I'm not paying my taxes.
If I don't like the idea
That's
of
fine then.
money-
Okay.
That's fine then.
That just. Switch in the room.
Yeah,
It's
it can
both,
get
it's
moved.
bolted
Guys,
to
now,
the
they know
floor.
it, man.
It's only 4 volts. It can be moved out to
Or we
the.
can wait till we leave the office and then it could stay where it's been for the last 15 years.
Taxes are coming.
This is the question that gets over, right? There's a question of the kitchen as well. There's a question of the kitchen as well,
Gotta
right?
get past it.
Alright, so what do you wanna
I
do?
have an election in May. I have no
Say
place
you're
for my
gonna be-
people to
you're
take
in-
their.
Yeah, what do you wanna do?
That's why the.
I need a motion, yeah, we table this.
The whole thing.
Right.
You're the one that needs a break room.
Okay,
And
who's
second,
second?
You moved it, Kim's office.
I second it.
My only concern, for discussion, right, I can add.
For her
some
election.
things. There's concerns about not having a kitchen, unsanitary conditions of things like that, right? It's not really funny. I mean, it's other things that I then have to be concerned about when Mike complains to the county that he has no proper working conditions, right, that are unavailable. I would really, it may be interesting to ask the question, how much real work would it take to move the offices and just commit to doing that?
It wouldn't be
You
that.
could probably do it in an hour.
Yeah, there's computer-
No,
Plenty of
it
people
wouldn't
here.
be an hour though.
Yeah.
That's
We're
not
not
me.
To move the furniture.
Yeah, I am believing.
I don't know if you're
What do you want me to do with my desk and stuff? Like, I
You
have
You
everything.
can have their desk, they can have your.
No.
Oh, gee.
No, I'm not doing
Well,
that.
I'll-
You want me to move
I'll-
the
I'll
office?
come in tomorrow and help you. That's not a problem.
It- it's-
I remember whoever else.
We all will help.
I mean, I'll help you with
Just
it.
the mayor would
Honestly,
come
it's not
in
that.
and do
I'm
it.
just saying, this
Thursday
is
is
busy.
I would help, but I'm not authorized, and that guy is here too. Terry's here on.
Okay, I understand it's your busy, so that's why I'll help.
No, I understand that, but it's the whole point of packing everything up. Putting it in there, unpacking it all, putting it all, I mean, you're talking a whole day, if not more. For me,
All I'm saying,
to
is
do.
we have to figure out a way for people to get that money in the vault when they get it on Wednesday,
Honestly,
at 1 o'clock when you're not here.
Jared,
Is all
so
I'm saying,
it's
or whatever
not,
the situation is.
it's not that, it's not. They're making it a way bigger problem that is, they can put the money in the back safe.
What
Where
about the
we,
cash,
we're,
though?
we're,
Talk about
the cat, we don't want a resident to put cash in that.
Right, so.
Because, and it says that on there, because the resident doesn't get a receipt.
But what I'm
If they
saying,
bring
what if-
cash
What if
in,
Mike gets cash and there's no one here to get that other?
if he gives them a receipt, then he puts it in that Dropbox also.
Oh.
It's safe back there, it's just not, we don't want a
But the resident
resident
can't
to
do it.
put
like
their
you
money.
said.
So my.
Oh, what you're saying is he can do it, the resident.
We don't want the resident,
I know.
because they don't get a
Receipt,
receipt
I
then.
got you.
So my next question is, where does Mike wash out his coffee cup or his lunch? Does he not have, he can't use the bathroom? That's so unsanitary. That would, gotta be against the health regulation.
As president, I would like to say that it's important to me that our treasurer has a secure office where people don't walk in and out to use, wash out their lunch bowls. That should be critical that this would happen quickly this week, within a day.
I think if we do it Thursday, like Mike
I
said,
agree.
Terry's here
I
on
also
Thursday,
think,
Seth is here on
As a
Thursday.
resident, I wanna know that the treasurer is writing receipts, receiving checks, and the checks are not leaving this building, if the work's being done in the building.
Yeah.
So whether it's
The work
2 days
is
a
being
week
done.
Or 4 days a week, or whatever you're doing your accounting, there should be dates when you're logging money in, money out, logging.
There
money
is,
out.
there is.
As a resident, I don't want anybody but you handling my money.
That's the way I
Right.
feel.
So I don't wanna leave it with mine.
You're
That's not
elected,
fair to
we
mine.
elected you.
Now, there's a lot of people here tonight. We'll help you. I'll stay as long as it takes,
It-
whatever.
What you
need.
guys aren't
I know,
understanding
it
though,
sucks.
is you can't pack up my office. You can't unpack my office.
take
You
a
can
picture
move it,
And move it the exact
but
same way
you
this
can't
was.
do it.
We
And
can
right
help.
now is my busy season.
Okay.
And I'm learning at the same time. I don't understand what one more month is really gonna be that big.
You just keep going backwards with this, I mean, we're gonna move it or what?
And I'm looking to give you guys a solution, but the thing is, they're already saying I'm not processing taxes.
Moving?
So you want me to stop what I'm doing currently to pack up an office, unpack,
But it wasn't
it's
really.
just.
Well, if there's one day before.
So what,
5 hours,
you gotta vote on that?
You gotta vote on the
Then you
motion,
have
just
to-
move the office.
Okay.
Okay, then let's
I don't
take a-
follow the discussion on a date, okay.
But
Okay.
somebody's gotta approve the one that's in that office because it's her
Who's
election
making the
people that
motion?
need to have a
You
break.
can if you want.
I thought Jared.
Her election
Were you
people.
making the
Propose a date.
motion?
It's not assessing, I'm
He's making the
talking
motion,
about
he's making the motion
wide open, they're
for the
assessing.
date,
Right.
right, to move the.
That's what they're proposing.
Yeah, I
Move
mean,
assessing
if I'm gonna make the
into
motion,
that
I'm gonna make the motion on a Thursday morning when Seth is here, because that's what we had planned for the last 3 Thursdays.
Him
And it never happened.
Switching office.
So
I'm sorry, what we're.
I'm
we're
doing a
trying to talk
motion
that
for Thursday, we move the office.
Thursday, the 16th.
Yeah,
Is that the date?
Thursday's
Yeah.
16th.
so anybody want to
I
second
won't be
that
here on
motion?
the 16th, actually, so.
That, this is what I'm talking about, see, we're trying to get a date
can't-
for you
I have
to
doctor's
accommodate
appointment
you.
that day.
Why is the treasurer not in the, why is it safe, not in the treasurer's office?
Yeah,
Why is the money to this community in that safe, the checks in that safe, not locked up in the treasurer's office? I don't care where the hell you move it, but why is it the safe not locked in the treasurer's office? That's our
Well,
tax dollars.
it kind of
It
defeats
is
the
in the
purpose
treasurer's
because
Then it should be
she,
locked up in the
but
treasurer's office.
think about it,
It
if
is.
she's here, she has
Now, when
the
you're
authority
talking,
to
when they
take,
move her, the safe will now be outside of her office.
which will now make it accessible to.
if she gave her a key, there'd be no problem, or he might the key,
Listen,
there'd be
here's,
no problem.
let me answer this.
My
This
point
is
is-
all over a thing for election.
Question.
Kim has all the authority to take the money. Anytime she's here, she can take that money and she can lock it up. I don't take money. But Mike takes money, Justin takes money. Now they have money and they have no way to put it in a secure location because that door is locked where the locked safe is.
There's one in the
So-
back door.
But that isn't as secure as the one that we put in there specifically for payments. So I
It's
even,
just as
I
secure.
even,
It's not secure.
No, it's
I
not.
can put all the checks on it.
This-
and here's the other thing. In the past, if I had to write a check for a bill that needed to be paid and Phoebe wasn't there, I would write that check, I would put it in that safe, I would write a sticky note, put on her desk, I have pay a bill, it's in your safe. I can't do that now because I can't get in there, so I can't pay a bill.
My
I can't.
question is the
And I-
why, can I speak the what, the question is you want the safe outside of her office. You're gonna move her office and leave the safe where it's at. So that means the safe is unsecured in the treasurer, not in the treasurer's office.
The safe
It's
is secure in
secure.
itself, it's a safe.
It's not in the treasurer's presence, it's in its own location
It-
for people to have access.
You-
It should be in her office locked. They got a locked safe on the back door for people to drop money, including money.
That's
Okay.
Okay, well, then you must be the secure safe. Why do we have something that people put money in that you're claiming is not secure? Get it secure.
Obviously, this
Alright,
is,
so where are we going
We,
with this?
we
We
need
need a
action for it.
motion
What-
to
what do you-
move.
What do you wanna do?
What do you wanna do?
I don't wanna move until after taxes are done being collected,
so then Brett, I'm sorry.
February 28th.
Brad, then I don't think Mike should collect money because
I don't need
I
it.
don't,
Fine, then he doesn't have to collect money, that's fine.
What do we do with Justin's money?
yeah.
He takes hundreds.
I mean, this is a serious issue with collecting.
This is-
money,
We can
right?
put it
So,
in the
hold on,
back.
let me
safe.
finish talking, okay, cause I think I've witnessed, and I am a citizen on top of being on the board here. Okay, and what I see as some issues that are presenting themselves, that then come into a risk assessment issue, which comes into kind of my wheelhouse, right? We have a risk assessment issue problem. All right, we've had it go on for a while now. We have a security problem. We can't have unauthorized people. Authorization comes from this board or the supervisor. It does not come from anybody else. That is a security issue, number one. Nobody wants any, whether or not my friend's over my house and they bring their friend or husband or sister or brother is without my permission is not acceptable. Right? Especially when the supervisor, who is the elected supervisor, who has that authority, asks somebody to leave. That is a breach of security, not a breach of pride, not a breach of personality. It is fundamentally a breach of security, number one. Because if Bruce Christie walked in there tomorrow without being invited, he was authorized, he had the ability to be in there, he would not be an authorized personnel anymore, right? So when it comes to risk assessment, this board, in my opinion, needs to act to close those doors and authorize only certain people. Period. Number one. That's issue number one. Number two, we have a significant security issue with not being able to deposit money into the safe that has been available traditionally to every person in this building that's been elected or delegated access. Because the safe in and of itself is it is a safe. It is the tank, right? So you park a tank out in the parking lot, you don't have to put it in the garage because it can sustain itself.
right? It does not need to be in a secondary locked room that nobody else can access except for one person who will not give a key to the delegates. Right? And if there is questions about that Dropbox, we need to talk about that too. That Dropbox should be as secure as a bank deposit box if we're going to rely on it being used to deposit things like cash, especially. Right? And the suggestion was that we have to move the cash that can't be put into the safe because Kim won't give the key to Mike into an unsecured Dropbox. It's no different than a mailbox. That's unacceptable from a security risk factor too. Whether or not it's paid or not, when it comes time to balancing the money, he could have taken in, Mike could have taken in $1,000 and somehow somebody broke into that. Who's gonna pay for it? Are you gonna pay for the $1,000 missing? Are you gonna pay?
No,
I don't
I
think
am.
so. Well,
I'm responsible
well,
for
no,
it.
you're
And
bonded,
no.
and so the problem is the township is going to again.
Yes.
No,
Right?
it's
So,
not.
so when it comes to these issues, these are issues that the board needs to deal with. I understand there's other issues in here that have a lot more personality involved, but taking the personality aside and looking at the two main issues here. And I don't care, I mean, the idea is you guys have to weigh this. Is it important to inconvenience somebody during their busy time versus making sure that the township money is secure? And that is not your job to decide that, that is your job to decide that. And that's a motion that needs to be tabled, you make the decision and you live with it, because you guys are responsible to them, right? So if I can suggest that somebody puts a motion from one, and it can be voted up or down. It doesn't, that's the legislative body that we have here. But we got a lot of arguing, we got a lot of mudslinging, we got people saying they're not gonna do things. And the answer is, if the board asks and decides that it's going to be done, it'll be done. And if it's not done, then it can be dealt with appropriately. Similar to if a law is made and people break the law, then you deal with it appropriately. But what you guys have to all understand across the board, you have a fiduciary duty. It's very apropos that the Michigan Township Focus, the MTA's magazine for this month's article. Okay, if everybody would have read it, they know better already. And that is a township board member, is a township board member the only person who can perform a statutory duty of their office besides their deputy? And the answer is no. First word, this is from the MTA. This is saying that this board can act because it has a fiduciary duty. And if you find that there's something wrong with a misappropriation or security risk, you have a fiduciary duty to supplant any of these officers and direct them to do something else. That's the guidance from the MTA right here. They're a lawyer, the Catherine Mulhap, whatever, MTA staff attorney, right? It's not just coming from me, but it's a very serious issue. Right? And so we can talk about hours and things like that. That's if people don't like Kim's hours, they can vote her out. If they don't like you not being available, they can vote you out. What we can't do is lose our fiduciary responsibility, because showing up and pissing off a citizen is not the problem. It's what happens when money's missing. Right? Number one, first and foremost, everybody here ran on an idea of saving money, taxpayer accountability. Right? So let's be accountable and let's make some decisions here as to one, the issues that I said. There's a security risk issue. And two, I mean, and two, there is a accessibility issue, and then there's a whether or not this office needs to be moved so that this township can do its job.
Correct.
So those are really, I think you can do two motions. So do we have anybody who wants to bring a motion about moving this office?
I'll bring up the motion. Remove the office.
I would support.
You have support. All right. I think we have plenty of discussion, right?
Yes.
Do we all agree we have plenty of discussion? All right.
Okay, let's
So
take a
now,
vote.
let's be specific so we understand this. Can we have a mutually agreeable date within the next 7 days to do this? Is that a reasonable time?
Yes.
Okay, so a mutually agreeable date, otherwise it has to be done on the 7th day. Next Tuesday. Right?
Agreed.
Have a mutually agreeable day, mutually agreeable time that this happens. And if that's what you guys want, that's the motion. Is that the motion? Do you guys understand it?
Yes.
Okay.
My one question is, would we need assessing to be here to move theirs?
Yes.
Okay, so if assessing has to be here,
So they're
when
here
is
on
assessing?
They're here on Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay, so then do we want to extend it till the following
Thursday.
Friday?
No, Thursday.
So it'll give a Thursday, a Monday and another Thursday to get it done? Have it extend till that Thursday,
No,
That's what it takes.
oh, yeah, right.
right? So they got this Thursday, they got next Monday, and they got the Thursday after.
Week and a half.
And sometime in that period, it's gotta get moved.
Yes.
Is that what the board wants to do?
Yes.
Then we need a roll call
Okay. Angie,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Brad, yes, motion carries.
vote. Okay, second issue that was put on the table. Authorizing people to go behind the glass, basically, in the restricted area. It's been identified as an issue. We've had some discussion about it, okay? The police have been called about it. Right? In the end, the only real authorized people that should be behind there for a risk assessment are the people who are either beholden by being hired by this township or by being voted in by this township. And everybody else to the exclusion. Unless somebody who is the supervisor can authorize it by request. Hey, I need my husband to help me come move my office. Oh, okay. For today, he can come in, right? Because, I'm sorry,
It should be something in writing.
right, and it should be a similar request to.
Requisition.
a
Quick
requisition.
note, sometimes citizens have to do business with you guys, not out in public where everybody can hear, so the conference room, you guys should be able to bring people who need to do business into the conference.
Well, they can come in.
Either way.
Whatever, one of the two, whatever. Just sort of-
No, but I mean,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I agree with you on that, but I really think it's crap that you can't have your family members, the people that support you at this job, to come back into
Here's
your
my thing, and this is no offense, and I don't mean, I'm just using it as. But what happens if your husband was a felon?
But it's not.
No. You don't get to make that determination, the board does, and the board has to have that opportunity to vet the people. So if the person is a felon and they end up behind there dealing
Okay.
Put
with
the
sensitive
motion, I'll put the
information.
motion forward to only have authorized personnel behind the glass or in the office or whatever what you call it.
In the inner
whatever you
office
call it,
or-
Inner office.
Yeah, the inner office.
And any other personnel or person that comes has to be approved by the supervisor.
Yeah.
That, I put
I
that.
mean, we
motion
come in
forward.
today, there's.
I put that
three
motion
people
forward.
back
Put that
there.
motion
Who are they?
forward.
I don't know.
So,
And
we need a
support?
second.
He wants to see,
support.
so they can go out in the lobby
Yeah.
and see them. They just can't go back there. Okay.
Okay, we got a motion, we got support. We're gonna do a roll call vote?
Okay, roll call, Angie,
Yes.
Kim,
No.
Jared,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Brad, yes, motion carries. What else?
Since we talked about that Dropbox, and it's on, I know it's not on the agenda or anything, can we, and about security, can we at least look into the feasibility of how to use that Dropbox?
It's something that's.
Or get something that's.
It is secure.
I've never seen it, so I don't know. I'd have
It's
to,
secure, it's built into a cement wall.
I'd have
I
to go
mean,
look, I don't know. I
you're
mean,
not getting it out of the wall. It's
can't
cement,
make
it's
Mike,
flat.
I mean, Mike did say at the beginning of the meeting that he thinks it's not secure, so that's where there's like a doubt.
So let's put it up to look at it and we'll come up with some kind of resolution for next month.
Cause that'll expedite
Something
some
to-
of the drop off
something to-
and access to dropping off taxes.
And most of the time, there's only, during tax time, there might be 3 or 4 or 5 people that put something in there. So it's not a ton. Most of it comes US mail or through the front door.
Right.
Okay, and there's been times where we've had folks come in with $20,000 cash in a bag. Okay, to pay the taxes.
Yes, we all
It's,
remember.
it's real people.
35,000 in checks.
What's that?
Well,
35,000 in checks, isn't that Phoebe's dad did?
Yeah.
but that,
No cash allowed, and just.
yeah, you can't
With
do
your
that.
credit card.
You
Can't
can't.
get a credit
You
card.
can't.
for your-
Well,
They can,
That's all.
Probably.
they can, but they choose not to.
Why are you?
You can't make them do it.
Alright, we got.
All right.
One issue left on it.
And that makes Dropbox is secure, the state moving with their auditors.
I've already talked about it.
Last one.
Cash allowed.
Yeah.
So the final thing on it is a closed session. So under the under the Open Meetings Act. So I proposed a resolution, whereas The Columbus Township Board of Trustees desires to consult with the township attorney in closed session to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute. To wit, a written legal opinion subject to attorney-client privilege in connection with the pre-litigation demand from Mr. R. Cowan and the Bell River Winery LLC. Whereas the Board of Trustees desire to comply with the Michigan Open Meetings Act and specifically seeks to assemble in a closed session pursuant to MCL section 15.268, open parentheses, H, close parentheses. That is the resolution, if somebody would like to make a motion for it.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
So if the motion carries, it'll resolve to this. The resolution, the board resolves to assemble in closed session to consult the township attorney, consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute, a written legal opinion subject to attorney-client privilege in connection with the litigation demand from Mr. R. Cowan and the Bell River Winery LLC. So, we need a roll call vote for this.
Roll call vote, Sam,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Angie,
Yes.
Brad, yes, motion carries.
Okay, all right, so we'll have to, where do you want to go?
Going back. Yes.
I never did this before.
Just what.
We all leave now?
No, you can stay. We'll reconvene after the close. I mean, unless you want to go.
Free to go if you want.
Yeah.
It should be.
Mind your own.
Yeah. Right? I don't know. Yeah, but we had. Yeah. So I ended up. Heat lamp in there. Sure enough.
Yeah.
And the actually from the ABC,
I got it burned out my house. It's so like. Stories. So far, so good. I'm pretty secure, but you know what I mean? Give it everything, you know what I mean?
We're just gonna go.
I mean, thank them for volunteering to serve.
I was a special education teacher.
I mean, I teach.
Can I read this? Is that okay? Oh, thank you.
I send the here from the residents. That's not shit now, right? You guys. You guys would be surprised. At how many folks in Columbus Township don't know that there's Richmond sports.
Next time.
There's a lot. And we got still working out with them. Break in the power in the parking lot. Well, they're gonna. Right, I see. You know that little shack is. That's would be the one in the back, you know, way in. Yeah. That's to the road. Next to that, a little bit behind it.
That's all time, right?
Well, they're gonna have to, you know, well, they've only said they want to stage 150 fire. And then one rest for. Well, I said, look at the road at some station. As long as you're 450 feet away from the dwelling, which the dwelling doesn't mean the house, it means the property line. So they can be across. They're gonna have to be there. They're gonna have to. Put it all together.
Yeah.
How it's gonna be on the other side.
Oh, yeah, for response, for stalls.
No, no, it is actually.
All the lead I remember stalls. Again, to get the property. Stall. Yeah. Yeah.
They all have.
Yeah, but he actually has one.
Thank you so much. And one of the old timers right now.
Have a bar in the back.
He walks out there. He walks.
Yeah,
yeah. He walked out like years. 47, 70. Same hole right there. So then you came up to the trouble, dug a hole, and there's the pin. I mean, you walk right up. And yeah, I looked at it. Walk, I walk it every day. Sometimes twice a day for 3
I'm
months.
the health and safety compliance manager.
And I'm like,
So I've run facilities and operations.
they said,
I've
oh,
done, I've been in 3 major jobs. Workforce development. I work in
they pronounced the one.
staff training programs.
Just let it grow up.
Yeah, we have like 30,000.
Might go to bed early.
I did that.
I gotta get to the core. Tomorrow morning, good morning.
So Lisa goes out on Sunday, so I get.
Oh.
Was the liaison in the state of Michigan, and we set up training at 30 locations around the state. We ran all this all about in home college. We're still doing that today. So we did that for 10 years. And then I moved to being almost like our employees. But now for our 2,000 employees, I'm doing safety training and writing programs. So I.
Promise I won't get out of my seat. I was looking.
I work.
We've got every kind of lab there. It's so cool.
60% changed over.
Good instruction.
Okay, and then there's friction, you know, the one will listen to the other.
Send something, said that he, they're gonna be asking you for this, that, and the other thing they're gonna.
What they need to do at the moment, you know. I'm trying to tell them. And they really don't. They are. But it's not a very specific. Like, they really feel like. Well, yeah, this is. Most of the time. It used to be, like tax time. She was here all election time. That's another.
But you don't get any of it.
You know, but during, you know, the off season, if you will, when it's not specific action going on.
I feel really.
You know, they were always here at 9 o'clock, they may work till noon, 1 o'clock. I'll tell you, one person after noon here, that's a busy day. You know, and it's like opening at night. It's senseless to open in the evening. Because I tell you what, it's better to buy. The reason being, you're gonna get the right person. Okay, if you wanna talk to me, can you come in and Mike's on? I can't help it. So what good did I do? Or did the township do? You know, if they Wednesday, whatever, or even on the evening. We've never had, I've been here for years. And I guess nothing from it's on the phone, believe me. I've never had somebody complain that they were here at 5 o'clock. And it's honest to God, I've never had a complaint. We may be. When you have. 2 or 3 people that come in. And they're all contracts. They're happy.
Oh, I know.
Well, management, my entire life, 3 nights a week. This. You know, that's where you got the resources. You know, say you have Justin here, they want to see the treasurer about your taxes. You can't even access. Okay, there's things on this BSNA that they keep talking about. That I can access, but not to the extent those two can access. The building, which I can't access. They're all. Yeah, no, I don't know how that happened.
I don't know either, but.
All I know is they sent out about 800 too many, I know that.
She does. How do you know? For the sun?
That blue.
Yeah.
They should have done it, and I even brought it up. I brought it up, I would say when they're standing. Never come in here and.
There's like.
I said, you guys, education. She said, yeah, you know, but. Then the attorney called me, gave me the day before, on the 19th of November. Can you come in? She goes, downtown, you know, I'm using my job. And you would think somebody that would want that job, would want to learn it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then if you look at the total picture, why would anybody vote? Especially that. A trustee, a supervisor, they can learn what they do. This is detailed. You gotta, you know, it's not something that you can just walk in. Right. It's gonna happen.
There's a greater saturation than. In the country, I can tell you, I know at least one example.
That's what they need to do.
Yes. Puppies, they were taken.
So many times, somebody's gonna come up with that alibi.
Yeah.
That's what's got us.
Yeah.
I think or it's gonna continue going on like that. No, she has, yeah.
This guy
It's a joke. There's people that come in here, got them in super great.
because if you.
In $20 bills. Oh, don't worry. In a bag.
I'm coming.
I'm coming in the box.
I'm coming with bang, bang. You're better than
Right. You can't tell the guy you can't tell.
You let me know when you guys are gonna be here. And I'm gonna come in.
We'd have to count all the families. We've been here for a long time while you're waiting.
I am coming at 1:30.
And wouldn't that be, you're a penny short, you have me changed.
Oh, no, I keep two just in my pocket. There's no one short. Oh, wait, yeah, here's. I'll be back tomorrow, recount.
This young man is in jail. This guy's still in jail.
That's what's got it.
He did all the damage from.
Well, you go to all these meetings, but they don't teach you how to do this. You know, they teach you about more of the supervisor. So you have to go public stuff, you know, they don't teach you how to get in there and log stuff. They don't tell you how to do it. Name township does things.
Oh, my.
We take. She's got hello. Somebody really wanted to get in there. He walks around. Your 70th birthday. How secure is that? You can stop and look at the whole visitor. 26 years. You gotta get in it to get undo it. Oh, you gotta get in it. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah. The bottom. She's got realize there's whole things. Yeah. She would have had.
Yes. Yes.
Then the near.
Very much. Next weekend. Yeah. So. you know.
Winery guy.
I mean, I can like,
He's got a switch.
Oh, fantastic.
Or stuff he did. He needs basically what he did for that. I don't expect.
My cousins.
He's
Yeah.
dodging.
They're all my mates.
Oh, shit. I'm trying There's folks that build things and they do. Okay, you're supposed to, and there's no, just improvise and get some control.
You have no sense of security.
They don't. What's that?
I'm kind of Indian, but I stay.
There you go. Anytime you're gonna open. Like, yeah, that's. He serves. Yeah, okay, you gotta do things right. Somebody can turn over there. That means everything you do. Greenhouse. You know? That's like some.
Yeah, I mean, I've started putting my comments out already.
Build the chickens. 5 feet, whatever, you know. Get these calls all the time. Yeah, so chickens. It's so bad when I say that I'd be eating free fruit.
So we don't know if we can have things that are not-
You know,
It's like, we had a whole bunch of meeting here. And they were all in my And, they were gonna walk along, he's laughing, I'm like, what? He goes, I'm sick, drinking the coffee. And he goes, don't, he goes, I get up and I go. No. I hear. I just happened to look on the meeting, I took his butters off at the door. And I'm like, we want to just kill him? No, here he goes, man. He called me out, and he goes, what do you think he's got? I don't know, they just keep growing his hair. So I said, let him come out of the weed, with a bunch of little, just keep growing.
My neighbor, he just passed his refuge. He gets those things all the time. We got a coyote problem behind it. It was too loud.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just the way it was. Yeah. But, you know, they ended up on my deck, packing at the door.
They're kind of fun watching because they're like a bunch of soldiers. They never go to the field. They just walk the grass all the way around.
Go in, cover themselves up there.
Yeah.
You gotta be out there.
They go in there and they start slapping.
Just last.
What are they talking about? Pray to God he can do it. And so once I CIA,
Oh, calling this one buddy.
I think we have to.
They don't go out. Well, I mean, I would normally. No, it's old chicken. Yeah, they're a combination. Like we have 60 or so that are from the springtime, and they went through a low spot, so now that the winter solstice is over, now they're coming back. So my wife said, "God, oh, no, that's our 60 young. Yes. Oh, yeah, it was 200 days. You better go 50. Yeah. In the front row.
It's like a church. All of them are pulling the back.
Did Hope put this on me?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
All right, after a closed session, where we had the opportunity to discuss attorney-client privilege matters, including, well, limited to, the pre-litigation demand from Mr. Cowan and the Bell River Winery. The board has decided, to, table the matter for final, decision at the next board meeting. And in the meantime, to, have me do some more investigation and discussion, about some of the plans that we made. Is that correct?
Yes.
Just a motion to table the matter until the next.
All right, so motion.
I'll make a motion to table till next month, till February 11th meeting.
Go ahead. I support it.
Vote, Jared,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Kim,
Yeah.
Angie. Yes. Brad, yes. Motion.
Carried. All right, now we need.
Motion to adjourn.
There you go. Thank you.
Second.
Second.
I'd like to.
All right, so yeah, let's carry.
As a resident, I would like to say, I know that there's a lot of transition things going on, and that as a resident, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for dedicating your life to public service, at least for the next few years here. And, we understand that a transition things happen when there's a new team and you're learning how to be a team. And we just want to know that we can have faith in you. They gave you our votes, and we want to know we can have faith in you to do your jobs. That part of the security and accessibility is also the posted hours that you work, that we know when we can count on you being here, so that we can process the things we need to process. And we'd like you to know that we're all praying for all of you, that you can overcome the transition challenges that you're finding, and realize how much you can do.
not what you won't or can't, but what you can.
Thank
I
you.
second
Okay, so.
I support, all in favor?
I,
Meeting adjourned.